Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm the only child of a rich couple of tech entrepreneurs. They developed some apps that became super popular overnight, and they became millionaires. Sounds cool, right? Well, it wasn't that great for me. But before we continue the story, please like and subscribe. My parents were always working or traveling, so I hardly ever saw them. I was practically raised by my nanny, and my best friend was my chauffeur, Thomas. I really wanted to have friends my age to play with, so when I was 5 and starting school, I was thrilled. I put on my new uniform and cleaned my thick glasses. Oh yeah, I have a huge eyesight problem. I'm almost blind without them. When we arrived, I noticed that everyone in the parking lot was looking at me. Just then, I spotted a girl my age standing close by and saw that she was wearing the exact same shoes as me. I walked up to her excitedly and put my foot next to hers. Look, we have the same shoes. We could be best friends. The girl stomped on my foot.
Don't think you'll be popular here just because you came in a fancy car, 4 eyes.
But I
didn't ask and I don't care. Don't talk to me.
And with that, she flicked her hair and left, and her minions followed. I soon discovered that her name was Cynthia, and she was in my class. She told everyone I was a loser who'd begged to be her best friend, and I instantly became a laughingstock. For the next few years, I just kept my head down and ate my lunch alone in the janitor's closet. In the 2nd grade, I saw a sign-up sheet on the board for dance auditions. I'd been having dance lessons at home since I was a kid, and I loved it, so I immediately put my name down. But just then, I heard Cynthia laughing behind me.
There's no place for you here. Only talented dancers can join the class. The ones who don't wear stupid glasses.
I was so tired of her walking all over me. I am a talented dancer. You don't get to decide what my place this.
With that heavy equipment in front of your eyes, I don't think so.
That joke about my glasses is now older than my grandma, and I'm bored. Come up with something better already. Her eyes went wide in surprise, and I walked off feeling proud of myself. Maybe she'd let me be now, but I was so wrong. On the day of the audition, she got to dance first. She wasn't bad, but I was better. But when she finished dancing, all the judges got up and clapped for her. Immediately, a woman in the jury said,
"That was brilliant. We have the person here for the lead role."
"Wait, what?" I climbed onto the stage immediately. "Excuse me, ma'am, but she was only the first dancer. You haven't even seen the rest yet." The woman looked at me with disgust.
"I can tell simply by looking at someone if they're talented, and you are not. Someone take her away, please. Next."
That was so unfair. After the audition, I saw Cynthia hugging that woman and calling her mom. Now it made sense why the judge was so nasty. Well, I couldn't even do the one thing I loved, and Cynthia still kept making my life miserable. Over the next few years, she spread a rumor that I had a contagious eye disease, and anyone who hung out with me would go blind, and everyone actually believed her. Another time, I'd taken my glasses off during an exam to clean them, and I didn't notice her slipping a cheat sheet on my desk. I nearly got suspended. I spent most of my time denying all these stupid rumors, and it was exhausting. One day in 7th grade, as I was walking down the corridor, Cynthia pushed me and my glasses fell off. "What the hell are you doing?"
Move it, Professor Four Eyes.
That was it! I attacked her blurry figure, knocking her to the ground. We were wrestling, pulling each other's hair when a teacher intervened, and we both ended up in the principal's office. Cynthia looked totally chilled out, and her mom landed 2 minutes later to defend her.
"Oh, I know this child. She's a troublemaker."
Her mom was on the school board, and the principal seemed to believe her instantly.
"Where are your parents? Your father said he'd be here right away."
Before I could answer, Thomas opened the door.
Oh, that's not her father. That's her chauffeur.
Clearly, she's not on her parents' priority list. They sent the chauffeur to deal with her.
I blinked away my tears furiously and ran off to the empty school auditorium, one of my usual hiding spots. I put on my headphones and started dancing in the dark. It was the only thing that kept me sane. When I finished, I heard someone clapping. As I looked towards the audience, I saw a boy sitting in the dark. It was Clayton. Clayton was popular and hot, and every girl in school wanted to date him, including Cynthia, and that was reason enough for me to stay away from him. "What do you want?"
I was just watching you dance. You're really good.
"Please just stay away from me." And as I was walking past him, he gently took my arm.
Wait a second. Okay, I just want to talk.
I stopped, my heart beating a little faster. He removed my glasses.
You're really pretty.
As he pulled me closer, I shut my eyes, waiting for my very first kiss. But before anything happened, he started to laugh and ran away with my glasses. "Hey, wait!" I started panting and sweating. Everything was dark and blurry. I heard laughs coming from every corner.
Loser, four-eyed dork.
I covered my ears and started to cry. Suddenly, Thomas opened the door and shouted,
"Natalie, where are you?"
"Oh, here comes the superhero to the rescue."
Or should we say super chauffeur?
Cynthia and her tribe skipped out laughing as Thomas took my hand and then drove me home. I didn't go to school for a few days and stayed in bed, but the more I thought about it, the angrier I felt. I was alone and my parents weren't going to come bail me out. I had to stand up for myself. It was the only way to deal with these bullies. But when I went back to school, suddenly everyone and everything had changed. Cynthia ran towards me and hugged me like a best friend.
My Nat, we were so worried about you.
Yes. Where have you been? We missed you.
Even Clayton was there smiling at me. What on earth was happening? What are you up to? Don't touch me. And then I heard a voice behind me. It was my mom.
Natalie, what are you doing?
What am I doing? What are you doing here?
Nat, how come you never told us that your mother is the founder of the most successful fashion app in the world? She just gave us a ton of discount coupons for the most awesome brands.
And why did I need to tell you that I don't even use it?
You're hilarious, Nat. That's why we're best friends.
No, we're not. You're a psycho.
Natalie, you're being so rude. I didn't teach you those manners.
You're right. You didn't teach me any manners. You didn't teach me anything. So go back to making your apps, Mom, and take these psychos with you. Well, maybe having a famous mom would finally help get Cynthia off my back, but that was wishful thinking. Because from that day on, I not only had to deal with her at school, but also in my own home. Since Cynthia had convinced my mother that we were best friends, Mom had a brilliant idea of inviting her home every day and to come with me in the limo. But one day, just when I was at the edge of losing my mind, something unexpected happened. As I was coming out of class, I saw Cynthia and her mom arguing.
You need to train for nationals, Cynthia. You seem really distracted.
Don't worry, Mom. I'm practicing at the studio every day. I know how important the competition is.
Okay, just checking. You have to win every competition to get a university scholarship. Your stupid father has left me with no money, and you have to go to Juilliard. It's important for my reputation.
I know, Mom.
I realized Cynthia had been lying to her mom about going for practice because she was always at my place. Now is my chance to get rid of her once and for all. That afternoon, when Cynthia was at my place as usual, I stole her cell phone, took her mom's number, and called her, acting as a secretary from the dance studio. Hi, I wanted to tell you that your daughter had an accident at the studio and you're her emergency contact. Can you please come over immediately?
Oh my God, is she okay?
Yes, she's fine, but she's asking for you. I'm sending you the address.
I'll be right there.
Okay, that was a bit dramatic, I know. When I heard a car screech to a halt outside my house, I went running out. Cynthia's mom was shocked to see me.
You, what? Is this some kind of prank?
Oh no, please believe me, you have to come see Cynthia. As her mom looked at me suspiciously, I led her to my bedroom where Cynthia and her minions were reading magazines, lying on my bed.
Gosh, I think I'll just run away and become a teen model or marry some rich billionaire. I don't want to dance and go to stupid college. Mom is really annoying. No wonder Dad left her.
You ungrateful Brad.
Mom, I was just kidding. Shut up. You're coming with me right now. You're grounded for life.
She took Cynthia by the ear, like a 5-year-old rascal caught doing something bad by her mommy. It was heaven, and I've been recording the whole thing on my phone. It was an Oscar-worthy film I could watch on repeat, and then I shared it with the whole school. By the next day, Cynthia was the laughingstock, and that was the end of her popularity. But when I got home that day, Mom was waiting for me with her phone in her hand.
You made this and circulated it everywhere. How could you do this to that nice girl? You're a terrible person.
I'm glad at least this made you pay some attention to me. Mom, did you know Cynthia has bullied me from the day I started school? Do you know she's knocked me down, spread rumors about me, and humiliated me in front of everyone? You wouldn't know because you were never here. Her mom always came to defend her, but mine never showed up for me.
I'm sorry, Natalie. I didn't know I was so busy all these years to build a great future for you. This app, this company, this money, it's all yours.
Well, you know what, Mom? I always thought I was angry at you for never having any time for me. But now I think what's been bothering me all along is that I'll grow up to run your company one day, and I'll become someone like you. And I don't want to be like you. I don't want to ignore the people who love me the most for some company or money.
Oh, I didn't know you hated me this much.
Mom, I don't hate you. I hate the fact that I might turn out to be a mother like you.
Please forgive me. Please give me a chance.
I wasn't ready to forgive her right away, and I didn't talk to her for months, but it seems like my words had really moved her, and she kept trying to make up for all the lost time. And eventually I decided to give her a chance again. And well, Cynthia, she never bothered me again. She was now a prisoner of her mother, who didn't take her eyes off her and forced her to dance every single day. Before ending the story, I want to tell you that pushing others is not right. We should learn to love and help one another. Hi, my name is Laurel, and my dad's a famous Hollywood star and a crazy one. Even though he gave me everything a little girl could dream of, there was something I wanted more than anything else in the world. But before continuing the story, please like and subscribe. On my 5th birthday, when Dad asked me what I wanted for a present, I said I wanted a mommy.
Oh, what? Who taught you the M word?
Dad, I'm 5, not stupid. Everyone has a mommy.
But I'm your mom. I've looked after you ever since you were a baby. Why do you want a mom when I'm your dad? How about I take you to Disneyland instead?
I want a mommy.
You're being ridiculous. Besides, I don't even know who your mommy is.
What do you mean, Daddy?
I dated a bunch of women at the same time. I really don't know who the mother is. I just found you at my door one day, but I had the DNA test and you are for sure my own daughter.
I didn't really understand what he was saying, but after that day, he started distracting me with the craziest trips and presents so that I'd forget all about the M word. As if on Mother's Day, the kindergarten teacher told everyone to make cards for their moms. Well, hello! How rude! I don't have one, but I didn't let it bother me and decided to make a poster instead. Mom wanted for cute daughter, a famous actor. My teacher thought it was really funny, so when I went home, I told my social media manager to post a picture of it on my Insta account. The next day, I woke up to Dad yelling,
Laurel, why are there a woman outside with CV to be my wife?
I ran to the window, and sure enough, there was a whole crowd of women outside the house. Dad had to call on security to get rid of them. He was really mad about my little stunt. But the next day when I came home from school, Dad was sitting with a very pretty woman. As soon as she saw me, she threw her arms around me and started to cry.
I'm your mom, of course. I'm so sorry I left you. You don't even recognize your own mother now?
I suddenly felt overwhelmed with emotions and hugged her back. Are you really my mommy? Where were you? I missed you so much. Even wear your necklace every day.
Oh, darling, I saw your ad and I just couldn't stay away from you anymore.
Dad told me Mom was his girlfriend when he started acting right after college. She'd been too poor to keep me, so she left me with him, but now she was back. Over the next few months, I was busy making up for all the time I'd lost with Mom. Since Mom was a struggling actress, we spent a lot of time watching movies and playing dress up. But then things started to change. Dad helped Mom get a movie and then another, and soon enough, she was too busy for me. But then one day when I was in the 4th grade, she forgot to pick me up again, and I felt really mad. I was about to walk back home in the rain when someone stopped me.
Where's your mom, sweetie?
I looked up. It was Miss Maisel. She has started teaching here just recently and was the prettiest teacher in the world. I don't know. She forgot to pick me up again. When we called Mom, her secretary said,
We're on our way to the Bahamas for an important shoot. Ask your teacher to drop you.
When Miss Maisel dropped me at my door, I told her to wait and meet my dad. He'll give you his autograph, and if you're lucky, maybe a kiss too. But when I came back with Dad, she was gone. That night, I stayed up making a thank you card for her. But when I went to school the next day, the other teacher said she had moved. I was bombed the whole day at school. But when I got home, I had the craziest surprise waiting for me. I could hear yelling and screaming from inside the house.
No, you wish. You're a liar.
Takes one and no one.
I rushed in to find Mom and Dad fighting while a woman sat in the corner crying. The minute she saw me, she jumped up and hugged me.
My baby. Look at her all grown up now.
I tried to push her away, but she just clung to me and started bawling.
I'm your mama. Believe me, she's lying. You remember me, don't you?
Both my mom started fighting and I ran up to Dad. What's going on? Who's that and why is she calling herself my mom? Dad said this was his college girlfriend and first through love, but they'd broken up just before he started dating my actress mom.
Darling, tell her to get out. You know I'm Laurel's mom.
Oh, please, it's me. Remember the love we had?
Dad turned red and looked dazed and threw up his hands.
I don't care. You will stay. Let Laurel pick her mom. I already have a girlfriend.
With that, he barged out of the room and both the women turned to me with blazing eyes and gulped and stepped back. Uh-oh. For the next few days, I was super confused. I had not one but 2 mothers and they were both determined to show me who loved me more. I suggested to take the DNA test, but Dad refused and said,
Well, your mom is the one who loves you more.
I started to feel that my dad was crazy and he was enjoying this, and things got really crazier. Every morning, I'd wake up to not 1, but 2 amazing breakfasts. My new mom owned a salon and whisked me off to manicures and makeovers, which made my old mom feel really insecure. So she was now taking me out to fancy cafes and shopping sprees. I was loving all this mom-daughter time. One day when I was in the 7th grade, my old mom came to me and asked if I wanted to play dress-up with her. Mom, I'm not 4 anymore. I'm 13.
Yeah, you're right. How about we go to one of my parties?
Are you for real?
Yes.
Absolutely not. My daughter is not going to go to some adult party.
What? No, I'm going with my mom.
I am your mom.
No, you're not. I am.
Before I knew it, they were at each other's throats again. Gosh, will you two just stop? I'm getting really tired of this. I stormed off to my room and slammed the door. But on my very first day of high school, I saw someone I thought I'd never see again. Miss Maisel. I ran up to her, almost afraid she'd have forgotten me. But the minute she saw me, she hugged me tight. He just laughed. I thought I'd never see you again.
Well, I'm back, and now you'll see me every day because I'm your principal.
I don't know who says high school sucks, but mine had just started out pretty great. I was friends with the principal already. Everybody in class seemed to be really friendly too, especially the boys. By the end of the day, I've been asked out by the captain of the swim team, Brad, and I wasn't complaining. I started spending a lot of my free time with Miss Maisel in her office, and she would sometimes help me with schoolwork. She was rather appalled when she saw just how bad my grades were.
Don't your mom and dad say anything?
No, my mom's and dad says I don't need to study a word.
We'll see about that. Missy, you need to work harder and spend less time with that Brad.
Who is she? My mom? On the day of the prom, Dad asked me why I look so excited. I'm going to prom with the captain of the swim team.
What? No, you can't date any boy. No daughter of mine is dating a jock and coming home pregnant.
But Dad, it's just a dance.
I said, no, I'll be watching you.
And he wasn't kidding. He practically set up camp at the front door. As I was thinking about how to escape that evening, suddenly, both my moms came into my room.
Your dad's being stupid. Every girl deserves to go to her prom.
We're going to help you, sweetie.
Mom 2 gave me the cutest dress and great makeover. And then Mom 1 put her acting skills to good use. She went to the kitchen, let out a shrill scream, and pretended to faint while Dad went running to her. I slipped out the door and ran off, grinning. My moms were the best. When I walked into the hall, I instantly had boys swarming over and asking me to dance. Thanks, but I'm here with Brad. Guys.
Are you sure? I think he's here with someone else.
Just then, I caught sight of Brad with his arms around the cheerleading captain and he was kissing her. I pulled them apart and demanded to know what was going on.
What do you mean?
You are my boyfriend. Why is your face stuck to her face?
I don't know. I don't like you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you're cute and rich and an actor's daughter, but I don't know. I like her better.
I was furious. You horrible, horrible jerk. As I was busy pulling his hair, I heard Miss Maisel say,
What is the meaning of this, Laurel?
Immediately, I let him go and turned to her, angry tears streaming down my face.
What wrong?
Just back off. What are you, huh? My mom? I rushed past her to the bathroom. I felt like such a fool. A minute later, Miss Maisel joined me. I looked at her and burst into tears as I told her everything. She told me I could do so much better than a dumb jock like Brad.
Pretty boys can be a pain, really. Look for people who are kind.
After a while, I stopped crying. She had a point. Suddenly, she reached into her bag and offered me a chocolate. That's my favorite. Thanks, Mom. I gasped. Had I just called the principal? Mom? Could I be any lamer? But to my surprise, Miss Maisel suddenly hugged me.
Think of me like your mom, always.
Miss M, I have two. As I pulled away, my necklace got caught in hers, and then everything came crashing down. The necklace she was wearing was the other half of mine. What the? Why do you have that?
Oh, Laurel, wait, let me explain.
Oh no, don't freaking touch me. You. It's you. You're my mom, aren't you? You lying, horrible woman. I hate you. And with that, I ran home in complete shock. I'd seen her. My mother and the two women who fought over me every single day had both been lying. As soon as I got home, I barged into Dad's room. They are lying. They're both liars and gold diggers, Dad. I saw her, my mother. She has the other half of my necklace. I told him everything and both moms looked like they'd passed out. Dad looked furious.
I knew one of you was lying. That's why I let you stay in my house, but you were both lying.
They both burst into tears telling me they loved me. I told them to save it and turned to Dad. It doesn't matter anymore. You were right all those years ago. Mothers freaking suck. You're my only family, Dad. Just then, the maid announced Miss Maisel was here to see Dad. As she came in, I looked at Dad to see his reaction, and to my shock, he jumped up and hugged her. What? He said she was the sister of his dead college best friend. Dad, it's her. She has a necklace. She's my mom.
Impossible. We never dated.
Of course, we never dated, but you were with my sister for a while, and then you decided you guys were better off as friends, remember? Then she had Laurel, and after she passed away, our mom left Laurel at your door.
Miss Maisel said after a while she'd come looking for me because she promised my real mom she'd look after me.
But I thought telling Laurel would upset her, so I just kept a look from afar. That necklace was something I gifted your mom. That's why I had the second half.
For a minute, Dad and I were stunned, unable to believe what we were hearing. My real mom was gone. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Dad, my two moms, and Miss Maisel hugged me, promising to be there for me forever. What was her name?
Your mom's name was Sandra.
I asked for her picture. When I saw her face, I could see how much we looked alike, and it made me miss her even more. Years passed. I moved forward from the loss of never knowing my birth mother and forgave all the people who had lied to me, and today is my wedding. And even though my own mom won't be here to give me away, I have one crazy dad and 3 wonderful women who love me very much to do just that. Before we end the conversation, I want to remind you that going outside without permission is not good, and it's very dangerous to go out alone. Personal safety comes first.
Please, please, leave me alone.
Mom ran down the dark corridor looking for a place to hide, turning every doorknob that she came to. Finally, a door gave way and she crouched in a corner, but it was too late.
Stay away from me. Stay away.
Hey, I'm Anastasia. My friends call me Anna, but my parents call me.
Stay away from me!
R.
Leave me alone!
Okay, I was being a little dramatic at the start of the video. Mom wasn't actually scared. This is how it really played out.
Mommy, can you read me a bedtime story?
Please leave me alone! Go ask your dad!
Daddy! Look, I was outside playing and stepped in dog poop. See?
No! Stay away from me!
My nanny looked after me, mostly because my parents were super busy with their careers, and she always called me Miss. So, I thought my real name was Stay Away From Me. It wasn't until my first day of kindergarten that I found out I was wrong.
And what's your name, sweetie?
Stay away from me.
Excuse me, what did you just say?
Stay away from me.
Next thing I knew, my parents and I were sitting in the principal's office. Sure, I got into trouble, but at least my parents used my name more after that. And when I was 4, something amazing happened. My sister Isabella was born, and she was beautiful.
Oh, I have the most beautiful daughter anyone could ask for.
I was so bummed by what she said that I stuck my tongue out at her. But I got over it soon enough. I finally had someone to play with. Or so I thought. You see, Mom didn't want me near Isabella. Shoo! Go away! But one night, Isabella couldn't sleep and was screaming at the top of her lungs. I crawled into her crib and began to sing her lullabies. And then, soon enough, she was sleeping peacefully. I felt like the best big sister ever, but we never had a shot at getting close because of the way my parents treated us. They were less busy with work now and spent all their time fawning over Isabella and spoiling her while completely ignoring me.
You know what I see in the mirror? I see 2 beautiful girls with unlimited potential. Oh, Anna, how long have you been standing here?
I was here first, brushing my hair. You didn't even see me?
They'd whisk Isabella off to the mall or spa, and one time, they even took her to Paris while I was stuck with the neighbor and turned 9 cats. It bothered me a lot at first, but eventually, I just kinda got used to it. But my parents were slowly turning Isabella into a monster who bullied them and threw a fit anytime she didn't get her way. She would try to boss me around too, but I mostly wouldn't give in, which didn't sit too well with her. Like this one time when I was in 5th grade, I was eating spaghetti, and she turned to me with a weird look in her eyes.
Spaghetti and worms taste the same, don't you think?
What? My stomach churned when I looked on my plate, and sure enough, there were worms mixed with my spaghetti.
Ew!
When I told my parents, they told me it was a harmless prank. Every time Isabella did something to me, they would make excuses for her and brush it off. Even the time she cut my head out of all the family pictures.
She's too young to know what she's doing.
She's just having fun. Lighten up.
The weekend before middle school, I bought this super cute outfit for my first day, and I couldn't wait to put it on. But when I was getting ready, I couldn't find it anywhere. That is, until I entered the kitchen, and there sat Isabella in my outfit.
Isabella, that's mine!
It looks better on me. I look like a doll.
I rushed over to Isabella and tried to pull my outfit off of her when Mom dragged me away.
Anna, what are you doing to your little sister?
I want her to take off my clothes.
Oh, is that what you want? You should have said it nicely.
And then she took a pair of scissors and cut herself out of the dress.
Oh my God, you're such a psycho! Mom, aren't you gonna say anything?
Yes, if you knew how to share your things. You could both enjoy them, but now look at what you made your sister do.
I could pull my hair out. There was no winning against this brat when she had some magic spell cast on my parents. As I grew older, I just avoided my family as much as I could and faded into the background. I decided to focus on what I loved singing, and I became quite good at it. But I only realized exactly how good I was when I was 16, 2 months before high school started. I'd taken up a small gig at a cafe to sing occasionally. And when I was done, a stunning lady approached me.
Hi, I'm Gigi. You have a beautiful voice. I'd like to sign you up as a singer.
What? You want me?
Yes, I could make you a star.
It was an offer I couldn't refuse. I gave Gigi my address, and when she arrived at my house later that evening, my parents were quite surprised, and Issa looked so jealous.
But why would you want to sign her up?
Because she's talented.
But her looks?
Can be altered to look the part.
What do you mean, altered?
By the time my people are done with you, you won't even recognize yourself, kiddo.
The following week, I went to the studio with Gigi, and I felt like I was in a dream. And after rehearsals, Gigi's makeup artists took over, and she was right. I barely recognized myself. I looked amazing. When I got home, Mom looked shocked.
Oh my God, Anna, you look stunning.
My heart flipped with excitement. Did my mother just give me a compliment?
As stunning as a chicken in a jumpsuit.
Later that week, Mom took me shopping. In fact, over the next 2 weeks, Mom and I spent a lot of time together. We went to spas, dinners, and we even spent a day in Paris. I'd picked up a few things there for Isabella, but when I went to give it to her, she dumped everything on my head.
You think you're better than me because of this music gig? Your days are numbered! Witch!
Did my baby sister just threaten me? I was too busy to think too much about what Isabella said. I worked hard and released my first album, and by the time I started high school, I was already famous.
Oh my God, her skin is flawless.
She's such an amazing singer. I can carry your books around.
But life just had to give me lemons, and this lemon was Mandy, the meanest and richest girl in school. She transferred to our school the year before and was the most popular girl around. But clearly, I dethroned her now because I had way more fans and social media followers than her, and she just couldn't handle it.
Others may have forgotten how ugly you really are, but I'll never forge. And I'll make sure the others don't, either.
I tried to ignore her and just enjoy my newfound fame. But of course, Mandy did everything to ruin it. This one time, after gym class, she filled my body wash with oil. Another time, she filled my bag with live frogs that went crazy in the science lab. She was a lunatic. And then, one afternoon, while walking through the mall, I saw Mandy and Isabella together. Mandy was shoving a dress into Isabella's hand and looking over her shoulder. Wait, was she trying to get Isabella to shoplift? I stormed over to them immediately.
Mandy, what are you doing with my sister?
Mind your business, Anna. She's my friend. And wait, way better than you.
Issa, she can't be that good. If she's trying to get you to steal clothes, you're coming with me?
But Issa bit my arm hard and ran off.
Stay away from my sister, Mandy!
But after that, I'd see the two of them together all the time. If they wanted to run their own Anastasia hate club, then fine. I had better things to focus on, like my very first concert that Gigi has arranged to boost album sales. On the night of the concert, my family came to support me, and I was so excited. I grabbed the mic, and I stepped onto the stage confidently. And I was totally owning it. Everything was going great until someone from the crowd screamed and pointed at the chandelier above me, which was falling down. One of my guitar players threw himself at me and managed to get me out of the way, seconds before the chandelier crashed on stage. Before I could even process what had happened, Gigi whisked me away to get me checked up at the hospital. A few days later, I came across the opportunity of a lifetime. There was one spot open in the most prestigious music college, and they'd be visiting the school in 3 months to hold auditions. I just had to get that scholarship.
You can drool on that spot all you want, but it's mine.
Gosh, why was the world always putting Mandy and me against each other? She played the piano, and she was good. Beethoven good. I couldn't let her win this. I threw myself into practice. After rehearsals with Gigi, I'd stay back in the studio and practice for my big day. One evening, while I was walking home from practice and saw Mandy picking a loaf of bread out of the trash. She's the richest girl at school, so why is she digging through garbage for food? I followed Mandy until she went into the bad part of town. The houses were small and shabby, and I watched as she entered one of them. What on earth? I needed to know what was happening, so I walked up to the door and was about to knock when I heard a familiar voice. Isabella.
I told you already. I'm done with this. I'm not doing your homework, shoplifting, or going out of my way to be your puppet.
Isabella was making Mandy do stuff. Feeling shocked, I pulled out my phone, opened the door by an inch, and started recording. What I heard next made my head spin.
You'll do as I say, or else spill your filthy little secret all over the internet.
I am so sick and tired of this. Tell everyone I don't care.
You the only so popular, Mandy, not caring what people think. Are you really comfortable with people knowing that your father is rotting in jail for fraud, while you and your mother are left with nothing and living in this rat hole? I find that hard to believe, given how hard you've been trying to keep up appearances in school.
I've done everything you've asked me to do since you read my diary and discovered my secret. You made me tamper with the chandelier at Anna's concert. She could have gotten seriously hurt. I should have never agreed to do it. It's been giving me nightmares.
But if you don't do as I say, I'll tell everyone what you did. Oh, yes, I recorded it. And then you'll go meet Daddy in jail.
Do your worst, Isabella. I don't care.
I watched in horror as Isabella picked up a bat and raised it at Mandy. I flung open the door and lunged at Isabella, not a bat from her hand, and pinned her to the ground.
Get off, you ugly jerk!
Did you completely lose your mind? What have I ever done to hurt you? How could my own sister hate me so much?
Because you overshadowed my life. You should have never been in the picture, and I'd do anything to bring you down.
Isabella lunged at me with a scream, but the commotion had attracted the attention of some neighbors who came running in and held Isabella. Someone called the police, who took her away kicking and screaming. I was still reeling with shock when Mandy turned to me.
You helped me. Why?
We may have our differences, but I couldn't let Isabella blackmail you or hurt you.
Thanks, Anna.
No problem. That's what friends are for.
Friends? Are we friends?
Maybe we could try. Crazier things have happened.
Interrogating informants was one of my duties, and today was no different. Mr. Kent, have you or have you not been selling secret information to the enemy? If you don't talk, I'm going to have to use reinforcements and...
You have to look more scary, Rosie, and keep that Kaiser away from me.
Okay, shut up and put the gag back on so we can. Just then, my phone rang. Mom, you sound scared. What's going on?
Listen to me carefully. Your dad and I have gotten into some kind of trouble. Dad got badly injured and is in the hospital, but you can't see him now. It's dangerous.
Mom?
I think someone's tailing at me, and...
Wait, Mom? Mom? I think Mom's in trouble. Hi, I'm Rose from LA. I'll tell you what's going on. But first, please like and subscribe. My twin brother Enzo and I were raised by parents who are the most interesting people I know. They are undercover agents who work for the wait that's supposed to be top secret. Anyway, Mom and Dad didn't trust anyone to look after us, so a lot of times we found ourselves hidden under the table or behind a curtain during their top secret meetings. But I broke the rules and popped out from time to time.
Believe now, Mario. I think we're done here.
Not before he gets us double chocolate muffins.
I want vanilla.
Rosie, I thought I told you guys to stay hidden.
It's muffin top when we're on the job. Mama.
You can go, Mario.
And bring us a report tonight.
By the time we turned 10, it became more and more difficult for them to take us with them, and they made it clear that it was for our safety.
This job is dangerous and you need to stay home from now on.
But Dad, I've gotten really good. I can help trace people and find information.
I'm okay with staying home.
See, your brother gets it.
Oh, he's just scaredy cat.
If you promise to lay low for now and learn everything that you need to, we'll let you come with us on one of our major cases.
By the time I was in my final year of high school, I had acquired quite a number of investigative skills from observing my parents. Enzo and I had become attached to this guy who could hack into any system, but living like a decent human being is where he drew the line. You know, in those movies where the tech geek never cleans his room, never showers? That was my brother. You reek, you pea-brained Jerkosaurus Rex or something called a shower.
Hey, I don't get paid to take showers or smell nice.
You don't get paid to do anything. The least you could do is shower, or no one will ever hire you.
I don't need anyone to hire me. I'll work for Mom and Dad.
To the shower now.
Mom and Dad will hear about this.
If you can go near them without killing them first. When we weren't fighting, I was using him to test out my interrogation techniques. We made a pretty great team where he was the tech genius and I was the muscle, and I always knew that we would crack a case together one day. But that day came sooner than I thought when Mom made that dreadful phone call.
Well, what did she say?
I think she's been kidnapped and Dad's badly injured in the hospital.
Which hospital?
She didn't say. Did you do your hacking thingy and see if you can locate them? As soon as Enzo started working on his laptop, the doorbell rang, starting with us both.
It's the middle of the night. Who could it be? I'll check that.
Before he could even check the security cameras, I grabbed my weaponized frying pan and headed to the door. Whoever it was, you have chosen the wrong house. But there wasn't anyone at the door.
Rosie?
Did you?
There was a hooded figure in the frame, but he disappeared before I could zoom in on his face. It's like he knew where the camera was and hid his face. Also, I found Dad, but still nothing on Mom.
What?
It's almost like she disappeared from the face of the earth.
This wasn't good, but at least we'd found Dad. So I rushed to the hospital while Enzo worked on finding something, anything, that could lead us to Mom. At the hospital, Dad didn't look too bad, but something he said made me worry.
Look, improvise. No, I know Mom before, or before it's too late.
But Dad, where? Where do I start?
The door.
What? I turned to look at the door. Someone's face suddenly disappeared. By the time I got to the hallway, whoever it was, it disappeared. Someone was definitely following me, and I intended to catch them before they caught me. That night, Enzo and I stayed awake, trying to trace Mom, going through every case and every file we could find in their office, and sat through every security footage of the house, but couldn't find anything. What would Mom and Dad do? The answer came very clearly the following morning, when Enzo startled me awake from where I dozed off in a chair.
The person with the hood is back.
A figure in a hoodie rushed through our lawn to the front door. Right on cue, the doorbell rang, and we watched as he hid behind one of the bushes and watched the door. I think we just found our first clue. Stay here.
He looks very weak. Go get him, Tiger.
I had to catch this guy by surprise, so I grabbed a stick, ran out through the back door. Within seconds, I was standing behind him. Hey! As soon as he turned, I swung the stick up and hit him square in the face, sending him sprawling to the ground, and he passed out immediately. I put a bag over his head and dragged him into the barn, then tied him to a chair and waited for him to wake up, which he did a few minutes later.
Oh, hey, the name's Maxwell. How you doing, princess?
Seriously, man, read the room.
Whoa, hold your horses. You already broke my nose. Don't hit me again. What's in that freaking sock anyway?
I ask the questions. Who else knows about me? Who sent you to stalk me?
I'm not stalking. I just happened to be here when you found me. Wait, or are you stalking me? I mean, since it was you that came up from behind me.
You think you're smart, huh?
I've been told that I'm pretty impressive. How about you loosen these up, then we can talk, princess?
That arrogant. But now that his head wasn't in a sack, I couldn't help but notice how absolutely dreamy. And when he smirked, then flipped his hair to the side, my legs went jelly, and the butterflies in my stomach blushed. Wait a minute, Rose. Wake up. Your parents would be ashamed of you right now. Does he think he was in a commercial or something? What a loony.
Did you say something?
I'll get you a glass of water. You look thirsty. If there was something I learned from my parents, it's that if you let an informant go, they'll lead you right to your target. So leaving him loosely tied and the bond door slightly open, I left to get him water. And just like I'd expected, it took him less than 1 minute to loosen himself and leave the barn.
Rosie, he's getting away.
And let the games begin. Come on, let's go.
What? Where? Why do I have to go?
Because he could be leading us to Mom. We followed the guy from a discreet distance for about 10 minutes to a creepy old blue house. After looking around suspiciously, as if to see if he was being followed, he went in.
I don't know about this. I think we should go back.
Remember what Dad used to tell us?
You have to follow every clue to the end. Doesn't matter how small or big it is, it'll lead you to something.
We have to see this through.
Oh, okay. I'm only coming because it's creepier out here alone.
With Enzo behind me, shaking like a twig, I stormed into the house. A woman in a black suit, her bright red hair tied back in a ponytail, wearing a mask, and stood over someone bound to a chair in the middle of the room. I couldn't see who it was because her head was in a bag, but I'd recognize those white sneakers anywhere. I'd bought Mom those shoes on her birthday last year. Mom, I finally found you! Tightening my grip on the weaponized frying pan, I ran towards the kidnapper. Step away from my mother, or you lose your teeth. But the moment the woman turned around and pulled off her mask, she took me by surprise. Mom, what's going on here? Then whose?
First, give me this dreadfully ugly pan before you hurt someone. Secondly, welcome. We've been waiting for you, detectives.
Wait, I'm so confused right now. I thought you were kidnapped. Or are you the kidnapper?
And why is the kidnapped wearing your shoes? Suddenly, old, creaky house lit up. Dad came out carrying 2 birthday cakes, accompanied by the guy from before.
Happy birthday?
Birthday?
Dad, I thought you were in the hospital.
Sorry, I was acting on orders.
Our birthday isn't until 2 weeks from now.
All right, someone explain what's going on here. And could you please remove the bag off of this poor lady? But when Maxwell pulled the bag off, it revealed a faceless mannequin. Enzo fainted at the sight of it. This poor boy! Look what you did to him! He's going to have nightmares for months!
All right. I think we should tell them what's going on after we give Enzo first aid. Honey, are you sure he's our son?
Don't be mean.
When Enzo finally woke up, Mom and Dad explained how they came up with this brilliant idea to give us for our birthday adventure.
Maxwell is a secret undercover agent in training from a secret intelligence school. He was your clue and you followed it well.
Also, it was very clever how you used him as a lead. You get points for that, and your hacking skills are getting better, sweetie. Sorry I blocked you, though.
I wonder I couldn't trace you. You have to teach me that.
You can't outsmart the master.
You guys are pretty cool, and how did you come up with these weapons anyway?
You're lucky I didn't break your teeth, you know?
I don't doubt it.
Get a room.
And since you're graduating in a couple of months, you can join Maxwell in the secret intelligence school.
Best birthday ever! Hi, I'm Grace from Canada. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by my single dad, and he was the best parent anyone could ask for. He was a lawyer and worked long hours, but he was always there to make me breakfast, take me to school, and walk with me home. Throughout my childhood, different people tried to convince Dad to get married, but he never agreed.
You know, every child deserves a mom.
Thank you, but I'm perfectly capable of raising Grace.
Take that, nosy people. Dad and I were perfect alone. But as a kid, I struggled to make friends. It turned out that I had social anxiety, and talking to people was a nightmare. Dad said it was because I spent a lot of time alone, but it didn't get easier. Even after joining school, I always said the wrong things and ended up chasing people away. Like this one time, I saw a girl sitting alone at recess, and I went to talk to her. Hi, I like your dress. It's green like a frog. Not that you look like a frog. Well, maybe you do, but in a good way.
What a weirdo.
After a while, I stopped trying and became the girl who was always alone and kinda invisible. But then, I found company in my books, so it was no surprise that I was a genius at school. My life was really simple. I went to school, topped my grades, and then came home to watch movies with Dad. But when I turned 14, everything changed. One evening, we were halfway through dinner when I noticed that Dad was sweating nervously. OMG, was he having a heart attack? I pushed him down to the floor and began thumping his chest. Dad, you're gonna be fine. I won't let anything happen to you.
I'm fine. Grace, I just wanted to tell you. I met her name is Angela, and I want to marry her. And the best part is, you get a brother and a sister.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Dad, you always said you didn't need any help raising me, so why now?
I'm not marrying her to raise you, Grace. I'm marrying her because I love her.
Love her? I was furious. I stormed off to my room and slammed the door shut. Our lives were perfect. Why would Dad want to change anything? A week later, Dad arranged for me to meet Angela and her kids over dinner, and I had the perfect plan to chase them away. I changed the settings of the oven and turned the turkey to flames. No food, no dinner, but Angela, my stepmom, turned out to be a master chef. When she came home, she cooked food for everyone, and it was freaking delicious, but I wasn't gonna melt so easily. I kept frowning at her the entire time while her 5-year son kept blowing raspberries at me. He was so cute. Focus, Grace.
This is a really lovely home, and I'm so happy to meet you.
Well, sadly, I'm not.
Grace, you will be nice to our guests. Apologize right now.
I mumbled sorry under my breath and turned my focus to her daughter. Her name was Eva, and she kept going around and touching everything.
Wow, what a big house, and what a shiny sculpture.
Don't touch it, it's my dad's favorite and really valuable.
Don't you mean our dad, sister, and listen to me carefully. Don't play with me, I'm warning you.
What? She gave me the most evil smirk and rubbed her dirty hands all over the sculpture before she ran away, smirking. After they left, I told Dad I didn't like Angela and her daughter, but he didn't listen. And a month later, they were married. At their wedding, I was the angriest guest ever, but Eva was happier than the bride. A day after the wedding, Dad came into my room and sat on the bed.
I know this is hard for you, Grace, but I want you to promise that you'll try to like them for me, okay?
Dad had never asked me for anything before, and his request moved me. So I decided to chin up and try to love my new family. The same day, Dad and Angela were supposed to leave for their honeymoon. Dad said their trip was canceled because the sitter they'd arranged wasn't available. And I took this chance to be supportive. I can handle everything here, Dad. You should go, I insisted. How hard could it be to take care of a 5-year-old? They agreed and left for the week. And Fred was great, but Eva was a witch. She refused to help and would litter all around the house, thus making me do all the chores by myself. Then one evening, I looked out my window and saw Eva yelling at Fred. I rushed outside to his rescue.
You idiot. How dare you put a bug on my bed? You can't even talk right, you weirdo.
She was about to hit him when I came and stopped her. Stop it, Eva. Don't touch him, and don't speak to him like that.
Back off. He's my brother, not yours. I'll speak to him any way I like.
I knew what it felt like for someone to call you a weirdo, so I gave him a hug. You know, I don't think you're weird. In fact, you're the best 5-year-old I know. His face lit up, and he happily skipped away. I already knew that I was gonna love him so much. And soon enough, he became my first friend ever, and that drove Eva mad.
Fred, you know I'm your actual sister and not her.
But Fred ran to me and climbed into my lap. Soon enough, our parents came home, and Eva joined my school. She instantly became friends with the popular girls, and everyone wanted to be close to her. Ava, it's time to go.
Who are you?
I'm Grace. We've been in the same class since the 1st grade.
Wow, I really never noticed you before.
What? All my life, these people made me feel invisible. And Ava walks in, and suddenly she has a million friends. One weekend when our parents were away, I heard loud music coming from the backyard. I went to check and found Ava having a huge party in the garage. It seemed like half the school was there. What's going on?
I'm having a meet and greet with my new friends.
My dad would not like this.
He'll only know if you tell.
Just then, I heard someone say,
"No way, loser. Nerd Girl is your sister."
And that hurt so much. I'd spent so many birthdays alone because these people never came, but they were all here now. I hated that Ava had walked into my life and was living it better than I ever did. So, I went to the main controller and I shut down the electricity. The music died, and soon everyone left, and Eva came screaming at me. But just then, our parents came back home, and when they saw the mess, Angela was pretty upset.
How dare you have a party without asking? You are in trouble, young lady. I'm grounding you for a month.
It's all right, Angela. She's just a kid.
Ugh, I wish he knew. As soon as Dad took her side, Eva turned to all smiles, and Angela came to me.
I wanted to thank you, Grace. You accepted us as a family and looked after both Eva and Fred, so I got you a present as a token of thanks.
It was a beautiful gold necklace. She put it around my neck, and for the first time, I noticed how beautiful she was. Maybe she wasn't so bad after all.
Hello, where's mine?
You're not getting it anymore. I'll sell it and give the money to charity.
Eva grew red with anger, and she marched to her room. And later that night, she stormed into mine.
Look here, you nerd. If you think my mom loves you, you are wrong. She married your dad for his money, and that's the only reason she's nice to both of you. So before you get any mommy-daughter fantasies in your head, I thought you should know that.
I just tried to ignore her, cause I knew she was mean to her core, but it annoyed me so much that people still adored her, even my dad. One evening, I came down into the lounge, and I saw Eva jumping around happily.
Oh my god, we're gonna go see Funky.
Funky? It was our favorite band. Dad and I always watched them play when they came to town.
Actually, Ava and I are going. I only managed to get the last 2 tickets, and Ava's never seen them play before.
What? But that's our thing. This is crazy. You're taking her and not your daughter?
Come on, you've seen them a million times. And Ava is my daughter, too.
Stepdaughter. With that, I picked up a picture frame on the shelf and smashed it to pieces.
Grace, I am so disappointed. I didn't raise you to be a brat.
I didn't care. I was really angry at Dad. In fact, I was angry at all of them for changing my life. But it was hard to hate my stepmom. While Dad and Ava were at the concert, she took me shopping, and we did fun things I never did with Dad. One morning, I overslept, and I was in a hurry to get to school. I was struggling with my hair when she walked into the bathroom and helped me.
There you go. You look beautiful.
Thank you, Angela.
Please call me Mom.
Mom, I imagined a perfect world where she really was my mom. But my thoughts were interrupted by Eva's voice.
Mom, can you leave her ugly hair and help me with mine?
Oh, honey, you guys are late. We don't have time for that.
Eva went red with anger. Jeez. I was slowly getting used to having a new family, even though I still hated Eva. But then one day, it all came crashing down. I came home from school and went to say hello to Mom, but I stopped outside her room when I heard her speak.
Darling, we'll leave as soon as we're done selling those sculptures and all the jewelry. I can't wait to get away from this man and his needy daughter.
My heart broke. So Eva was right all along. Her mother didn't love me, or even Dad. I immediately raced downstairs and saw that Dad's favorite sculpture was gone. Oh my God. I went out to the driveway and waited for Dad to get home. Dad, I told you these people are evil. I told him what I'd heard, and it made me so sad to see his heartbroken face. But when we went back inside, the sculpture was back in place. What? I couldn't believe it, and I could already see how disappointed Dad was in me. Wait, Dad, I'm not lying. I heard Angela myself. She's a thief.
You think I stole something?
I turned around to see Angela, Fred, and Eva standing behind me looking shocked. But they weren't fooling me anymore. Just stop it. I heard you saying you'll sell Dad's sculptures and leave. You can stop pretending now.
All I've ever done since I've come here is love you, but it seems like I'm wasting my time.
She turned to Dad and said,
I love you, but if your daughter hates me enough to make up lies about me, then maybe we shouldn't be together. I'm leaving.
What? Leave? We can't leave. Can we all calm down and talk about this?
But her mom had already stormed off, and Eva ran to her.
I begged you to try and like them for me, but I guess that was too much to ask.
Dad, I'm not lying.
Stop it. You got what you wanted. Congratulations.
It was the first time Dad had ever yelled at me, and then he walked out.
Gracie, you really want us to go? I thought you were my sister.
I cried as I hugged him tight and ran away to my room. As they left in their car, I watched them from my window and cried some more. After that, Dad didn't speak to me for a while. Our lives were back to normal, but everything was different. Dad was miserable, and so was I. I missed Fred and his mom. Why did they have to turn out to be such terrible people? One day, I was in my room when I heard something. I looked outside, and it was Ava throwing stones at my window. I marched downstairs angrily to ask her what she wanted, but she held up her hand.
Wait, let me speak first. I'm just here to fix things. My mom didn't do anything. I used a fake voice app to make up the thing you heard.
What? Are you crazy? Why would you do that?
Because I was jealous. I had Mom to myself for years, but then Fred came along and then you, and she likes you better. It was like I kept getting pushed back and no one remembered me anymore. I didn't mean to break them up. I just wanted to hurt you, and for you to kind of hate Mom. I'm sorry, okay? Please help me make our parents happy again.
Weirdly enough, I sort of understood Eva. To be honest, I was jealous of you too. I didn't like sharing my dad, and all the things I found difficult came so easy to you. Next to you, I felt like a freak.
Don't say that. You're the smartest person I know, and you may not have friends, but you have a brother and sister who care about you, if you still want them.
I could feel tears rolling down my cheeks as we hugged, and I noticed for the first time that she smelled like flowers, just like Angela. Let's go tell our parents about the mess you made.
My mom's going to kill me.
Don't worry, I'll save you.
Hi, my name is Laura and I'm from Texas. Please like and subscribe. I live with my granny, and she's pretty much the only person I'm close with on this planet. After my parents passed away, she took me in and brought me up. However, growing up, I didn't have many companions. I was always dedicated to my academics, and that's how I managed to secure a scholarship at one of the top schools in the city. But events took an unexpected twist in the 10th grade. It all began when I chose to ride my bike to school one day. Just as I was about to park it, I stumbled over something. My bike then collided with a nearby car. Shoot! The car looked really expensive, and now it had a dent the size of an elephant. I was the queen of broke people. I'd never be able to pay for the damage. I had to get out of here. But just then, two evil-looking shadows showed up behind me, and one of them caught me.
Look at that! She ruined your car and now she's running from the crime scene.
Holy Jesus, not the terrible two! John and Arthur were the two richest and hottest kids in school. However, everyone was afraid of them because they were notorious bullies. And now I had crashed into their car. This was the worst day ever. I wasn't running, and I didn't ruin it on purpose, I just accidentally.
Oh, Kitty. Accidentally or not, you're gonna have to pay for this.
Listen, man, I can't pay for it. You want my bicycle? You can have that.
You're making jokes now? You better arrange the money or else.
Oh God, what was I gonna do about these bullies? And then I recalled seeing them harassing a kid really badly after school recently, so I just blurted out, I know your secret, and I'm gonna tell it to the principal.
What secret?
I know what you guys did last Monday! For a moment, they looked shocked, but then John screamed.
What? How? How do you know that?
Judging from their freaked out faces, I could tell it was something significant, and they believed I knew about it. This was perfect. Well, I'm not going to tell you here. I'll tell you in front of the principal. Let's go now.
No, wait. We can talk this out.
Yeah, and you don't need to pay for anything here. Let me check. If your bike's broken, I'll buy you a new one. As many as you want. We'll do anything you say. We'll be your errand boys. But please, just don't tell anyone.
What in the father freaking world? The two most powerful senior guys in school were totally at my mercy. And I didn't even know why, but I pretended to keep it cool because I didn't want them to know I was bluffing. Sure. Then how about you start with carrying my bag? It's so heavy. My hand hurts. As I went around school that day with these two acting like my personal bodyguards, kids were looking at me like I was a magician who had the terrible two wrapped around my finger. The next day, as I stepped out of my house, John was already waiting for me in his brand new car. This was just getting better.
Hey, I'm here to pick you up. So tell me, do you want to go to the beach today or the movies?
What? No, I want to go to school and attend my classes. I have to submit my assignments next week.
Aw, come on, Laura! You should enjoy yourself and not study so hard. Arthur can do your assignments. He does mine all the time. No big deal.
That sounded good. But I wasn't sure if I trusted them enough to hang out with them outside school. What if they planned to kidnap me because of whatever their stupid secret was? So I insisted on going to school. When we reached there, they kept following me around. At first, it felt like I was some princess. But as the day went by, I realized this was a big problem. I had ballet practice after lunch, and just as I entered the girls' changing room, all the girls started screaming. When I turned around, I was stunned to see those two morons had followed me in. Have you both lost it? This is the girls' changing room.
All the more reason for us to be here, right, Arthur?
I pushed them out and locked the door from inside. But when I went to the dancing room, they were already there, dressed in ballerinas' clothes and dancing like toads. What the freaking crabs? What are you guys doing? You don't have to follow me everywhere.
Yes, we do. We can't risk it. What if you go and tell the principal behind our back?
I won't do that.
Well, guess what? We don't trust you.
They just wouldn't leave. And when it was my time to perform, they both started cheering and hooting like they were my craziest fans. What could be the big secret that was making them do all these things to keep me from going to the principal? But as much as I wanted to know, I wanted to get rid of them too. The next day, I left home before they could get here. And even at school, I was on my toes watching out for them. Then during lunchtime, this football jock at school who I had a huge crush on came and sat next to me.
You're the popular girl who tamed those rich brats. And I'm impressed. I like strong and dominating girls. Like you. How about we go, ow!
Arthur picked him up by the collar and threw him out of the seat.
How about I give you a taste of strong and dominating guys?
Arthur, stop! What are you doing? As soon as Arthur let him go, he just ran away. Ugh, why did you do that? He was gonna ask me out?
He asks everyone out. He's a jerk.
Oh, have you looked in the mirror lately? You're the bigger jerk here. With that, I pushed him aside and stormed out of there angrily. Later that day, I was in the library when I saw that football jock kissing some girl behind a bookshelf. Arthur was right. He really was a jerk. I picked up a book and tossed it right at his head.
Ouch!
Well, he deserved it. After that, I went back to solving my math assignment, but I was getting none of the answers correct.
Easy there, Tigress. Let me help you with those.
Help me? Do you even know the— Whoa, how did you do that? I was stunned that this guy, who looked like he probably bought his grades with his dad's money, was actually good at studying. He helped me with my assignments, and honestly, I was starting to feel that he wasn't so bad after all. Just as I was about to apologize for calling him a jerk earlier, John barged into the library.
Thanks for keeping an eye on her while I was away.
Of course. Arthur was just here to babysit me. I felt so dumb thinking he might be nice 2 seconds ago.
So, who's ready to go and watch the new Spider-Man movie?
OMG! I'd been waiting for this movie for months. I screamed so loud with excitement that the librarian kicked us all out. Later that evening, when we stepped out of the movies, it was pretty chilly. Suddenly, Arthur took off his jacket and wrapped it around me. Such a good actor he was. I knew if it wasn't for their secret, he wouldn't care even if I was screaming for help. Soon after, he ran ahead to get the car, and that's when John took my hand and suddenly pulled me close. Wow, what are you doing?
Aw, come on. I can clearly see you're interested in me. That's why you're playing the blackmail game to keep me close.
What? In your dreams?
That attitude of yours, it's just got me going crazy for you, babe. How about you give me a kiss, now?
This jerk. I was about to push him really hard when suddenly Arthur pulled him away and punched him hard in the face. John landed on his butt.
How dare you touch her?
What the heck, dude? Did you forget who you are? You're a stinky lowlife rat who lives off my leftovers. And how dare you touch me?
Lowlife rat, what was he talking about?
I know who I am, but don't you dare touch her again. Because if you do, I'll shove those leftovers down your throat.
Whoa, it seemed like Arthur was a whole different person. He took my hand, and then we both left from there. All the way back home, he didn't say a word, and I could feel there was something about him that I didn't know. I was getting more and more curious. When we reached home, I handed him his jacket back, and I just couldn't stop myself. Arthur, why did John say all those things about you? I mean, you're rich too.
No, I'm not, Laura. I know it looks like that because I'm always hanging out with John, but I'm a poor nobody.
I don't really understand.
My dad used to work for John's dad, but he passed away a few years back, and I have a sick mom to take care of. John convinced his dad to take us in, and he helps me with money. But basically, since then, I have to do everything he asks me to do.
Oh boy, my heart sank listening to that, and suddenly I just hugged him tight. Thanks for doing what you did for me today, Arthur, and I'm sorry.
Don't be. He totally deserves it. But I really wish you'd never seen us do it. And then you wouldn't be involved with jerks like us.
Seen what? Suddenly he looked at me with surprise. The secret he was talking about, the big secret? Oh yeah, totally saw that.
Wait a second. You don't know what it is, do you? Now that I think about it, you never really mentioned it, because you don't know what it is.
I panicked, and then you guys assumed I knew your secret.
Laura, how can you even do something like this, knowing how bad John is? If he knows you don't know, he'll... Oh God, I can't believe this.
He stormed off angrily, and now my heart was pumping like crazy for what was going to happen next. The next day, when I reached school, I saw Arthur was still hanging out with John. But his face was full of bruises, like someone had hit him really bad. Of course, it was John. Later, when Arthur was all alone in the boys' washroom, I went in. Why are you letting him treat you this way? I know it's John who beat you up.
What are you doing here? And I told you I owe him. Just stay out of it. I don't want you getting hurt.
But you're willing to get hurt all alone? This is wrong, Arthur. You can't let him ruin your life like this. What he's doing to you and the other kids around school, this has to stop.
Yes, but there's nothing I can do.
You can. You've always been with him. You know everything he does. You can go and tell the principal all about it.
But I was there with him in everything he did. I helped him. If I rat him out, I'll be out of school, and I'll be on the streets with my mom.
Just then, John came out of nowhere and pinned me against the wall.
So you're planning to ruin me, huh? You have no idea who you're messing with, little birdie.
And you have no idea who you're messing with, you ugly crow. I smashed my head hard into his face, and he fell to the floor crying in pain. Arthur grabbed my hand, and we ran out of there.
I'm going to the principal. You're right. I can't be a coward and let him hurt everyone like this. Especially you, Laura. I'll deal with the outcomes later.
I'll be right there with you. We went into the principal's office, and Arthur confessed everything, from John's bullying incidents to the biggest secret of all. After the principal had told John he was going to fail in most of his subjects, John trashed the principal's brand new car. One evening, he smashed the windows and the lights and spray painted all over it, with Arthur's help. The principal immediately called John in and said he was going to be expelled. Since Arthur had confessed everything, he was going to be suspended for a while and made to do volunteer work. And suddenly, John turned to Arthur.
You filthy moron! I fed you and you backstabbed me. You're done too, Arthur. Even if you aren't expelled, you can't stay in this school without me paying your fee. And your mom? Who's gonna pay for her treatments now? It would have been better if you had kept following my orders like a loyal puppy. And now you're doomed.
And that's when John's dad walked in looking horrified.
That's enough. I had no idea I was raising such a brat. How dare you exploit this poor kid? Arthur, don't you worry, son. I'm here for you.
Dad, I'm so sorry.
Not a word. Your principal told me everything on the phone, and the rest I've heard myself. I'm sending you to an army school right away.
John kept begging his dad, but it didn't seem like it was going to work in his favor. When Arthur and I walked out of the room, I turned to him and said, "How do you feel?"
Never been better. Thanks to you, Laura, I was able to be brave.
I'm just so happy things will be better for you. So now that there's no secret, are you still going to be nice to me?
Yeah, I'll carry your bag every day.
And then he pulled me in for a kiss.
Hi, I'm Sophia from New Hampshire. Please like and subscribe. My sister Ivy and I are twins. Dad left before we were born, so I never knew him. Mom raised us on her own, and she was just something else. When we were babies, Mom forced us to wear helmets every day, except for when we slept. We even wore helmets in the bath when she wasn't washing our hair.
Mommy needs you to wear these, so you don't bump your heads and die.
She even placed mats all over the house. When Ivy and I were learning to crawl, our home felt like a massive soft cushion. Worst of all, Mom never allowed us to go outside, except the nearby grocery store sometimes. And she took us to the park once a year on our birthday. But it was only when the house was empty at night, and we were stuck with online homeschooling. The world is full of kidnappers, diseases, and other terrible things that can harm you girls. Neither Ivy nor I understood why Mom was so strict, but I was always getting into trouble. I would bang and kick the walls or throw and break things. I hate this house. Mommy, I want to live outside like a panda.
Pandas do not get brand new iPads.
Yay! I get to play Candy Crush. Ivy never realized that Mom only bought us fancy things to keep us distracted, so we wouldn't try to escape the house. The only enjoyable part about being indoors was when Mom played music on the radio. My favorite was the rock station. But one time, I turned up the volume so loud that it felt like the house was shaking.
Ow, my ears!
I'm taking away this radio. You're lucky you didn't make us all deaf.
I hated Mom, and I was pretty sure she hated me. One day, when I was 8 years old, I woke up to Mom standing on my bed, drilling something into the wall. Mom, what are you doing?
I'm installing alarms that detect anyone trying to go out your window. This way, no kidnappers can get in, and you and Ivy can't get out either. Look, darling, I bought you a giant doll for you.
At that moment, something inside me snapped. I grabbed the giant doll and threw it hard at the window, smashing the glass. And then I jumped outside. Mom screamed. She leapt outside to catch me, but I was running like a lunatic. When I was certain I had gone far enough, I paused to catch my breath. Then I began doing a happy dance. I was free. Suddenly, I heard noise and stomping in the background. A bunch of guys with drums and guitars came marching down the street, and I was so thrilled. I never thought I'd hear music again. As they came closer, one of the guys called out to me.
Why are you hiding behind that tree, little girl?
I don't know. You might kidnap or kill me. Mom warned me about people like you.
What are you talking about? This is a music parade. Come sing with us.
Before I knew it, I was marching with the parade and singing along. It turned out I was a pretty good singer too. But all of a sudden, I saw Mom and Ivy running to me with about 10 cops. Mom took me straight to the doctor to make sure I didn't catch any diseases from being outdoors. For the next 4 years, that was the last time I ever got to be alone.
From now on, I'm never letting you or Ivy out of my sight. I'll work at home. You girls will move into my bedroom.
Ivy and I couldn't even go to the bathroom without Mom standing outside the door. But one night when I was 14, I saw Mom asleep and snuck upstairs to the attic. I needed a moment to myself. But when I got there...
Sophia, what are you doing up here?
What are you doing up here? Are you having a date?
No, duh, we're having a date. I did everything to escape all your mom's crazy alarm systems.
Wow, Ivy, I thought you were Mom's good little girl. But don't worry, I'll keep your little secret. But just then, Mom came running upstairs.
What on earth is going on here? Who on earth are you? Get out of my house this instant.
Mom, stop, you're embarrassing me.
Do you know what embarrasses me? That one of my daughters was on a cozy date with a kidnapper or a robber.
I jumped in and said, he's neither of those things. He's my boyfriend. Mom grabbed a baseball bat in the corner as she swung it towards Ivy's date. He ran down the attic as fast as he could. That's when Mom burst into tears and started to pull her hair and yell like a toddler.
That boy in the house could have kidnapped you both. I've done everything to keep danger out of this house. But I failed. I have to send you girls to a strict boarding school with security cameras in every single room.
Good. Send us to boarding school. I'm tired of living with all your crazy rules.
But I don't want to go to boarding school. This is so unfair.
But 2 weeks later, Mom sent us away to boarding school. Ivy refused to talk to me there, and I couldn't take the tension between us. Please don't be mad at me. I even tried to keep your secret. I can't help it that Mom's a psycho.
Just leave me alone.
I grabbed Ivy's arm, but she pulled away. At that moment, Ivy tripped and fell straight to the floor. She started to cry, and tons of teachers came running. I'm sorry, it was a total accident.
I think I broke a bone.
You sound just like Mom. Just because you fell down doesn't mean you broke a bone. But it turned out Ivy broke her leg, and an ambulance took Ivy to the hospital immediately. I probably should have gone with Ivy to the hospital, but something in the hallway made me forget all about Ivy's accident. There were all these photos of famous musicians. In the center was a musician that looked just like my mom when she was a teenager, and the name under it was also Mom's.
Hey, fancy bumping into you again.
I turned around to see the guy from our attic. Aren't you my sister's boyfriend?
Nah, your sister and I just had that one disastrous date. Why were you staring at that picture?
I think this is my mom. She looks exactly like her and has the same name, Jen Zelda.
No, that's Jen Zelda, a teen rock star, but she stopped making music a long time ago. That psycho lady who tried to hit me with a bat is definitely not her.
It's not funny. You don't know what it's like to live with a crazy mom who hates you and spoils you at the same time.
Why do you think I'm in boarding school? My parents sent me here because they don't want me around.
Wow, I'm glad someone else's parents hate them too. I mean, not glad. You know what I mean? Listen, I need your help. I know it's impossible, but I need to find out if that girl in the photo is my mom. Nolan and I spent days researching Jen Zelda, but we couldn't find a picture of her that wasn't old. And no matter what, we couldn't find a reason why she quit her career. And Mom was nowhere on the internet. She was always worried about creeps and kidnappers finding out where she lived.
I don't get it. Just ask your mom about it.
She wouldn't tell me anything. She's crazy. She doesn't even let me listen to music, even though I love singing.
You like singing? Me too!
Before I could answer, I heard a noise behind me. I turned around to see Ivy in a wheelchair.
Sophia, where have you been? You never visited me in the hospital.
Ivy, I'm so sorry. I meant to visit you, but I found something crazy about Mom.
Wait, what's Nolan doing here?
I meant to tell you I transferred here and that your sister and I like each other.
Wait, what?
What do you mean like each other? You never visited me because you were hitting on a guy I dated. Sophia.
What? No, that's not it at all. Get off me. Nolan. Ivy could barely walk, but she limped away as fast as she could. I went after her to apologize, but her door was locked and Nolan followed me around all week.
Come on, I really like you. Ivy will get over it.
I wanted Nolan to leave me alone, even though he was cute and interesting. But when we both auditioned for the school band and got in, it was impossible to avoid him. I really wished Ivy would talk to me so I could tell her what I discovered about Mom. But she just wouldn't, and it was all I could think about. Could it really be that Mom had just been a completely different person before? And what happened to her? 2 weeks later, the day of our show arrived, and just as I stepped onto stage to perform, I froze in my spot. Mom was in the audience. Suddenly, I couldn't remember any of the lyrics to my song. I stood there completely blank as the band played on.
Get on with the song, you freak!
Oh, a loser!
All of a sudden, all the kids started throwing. I wanted to disappear, but then I had an idea. Hey, who wants to hear a former rock star sing? I want to welcome Jen Zelda to the stage. I wanted to see how Mom would react.
Jen Zelda isn't here! Idiot! Her career ended 30 years ago.
Everyone continued booing and throwing things at me. That's when Mom walked on stage and grabbed my microphone.
I knew this school wasn't strict enough.
Hey, it is Jen Zelda.
Mom, is it true you were a rock star?
Never mind that. They let students be in a band. Bands go out at night with gang members and crazy people.
Mom, just sing with me!
Oh no! I know everything you girls have been up to. I downloaded apps on your phones that let me read your messages. This school is stupid and unsafe. And I came here tonight to take you both home.
Mom grabbed my arm and tried to drag me off stage. Kids were laughing like crazy.
It'll be fun. I bought a horse for you and Ivy. I'll go bring him.
What are we going to do with a horse? Why can't you just act normal for once and just sing with me?
Haha, who knew Jen Zelda was a psycho?
I had never felt more humiliated. Before I knew it, I screamed, "Security!" My yell made my mic screech across the auditorium, and to my shock, security guards came running on stage to take my mom away. She cried and kicked her legs in the air.
I need to take them home. I even brought them their own horse.
I felt awful seeing the security guards take Mom away. But she was acting crazier than ever. I thought I'd call her the next morning to see how she was. But just then, Ivy came to my room and said the principal wanted to see us. Ivy and I walked into his office to find him sitting with another man.
Girls, you won't be seeing your mother for a while. She's in the hospital.
In the hospital? Is she hurt?
After what we saw on stage, we did an investigation. Your mother has a condition.
A condition?
It's called schizophrenia. Her brain works a little differently. She worries about things that other people don't worry about.
But she was a singer, wasn't she?
She was an incredible musician. Her condition is why she had to stop. But don't worry, girls. Your mother is in the hospital getting help, and you'll be able to see her soon.
Ivy and I were totally silent, walking out of the principal's office. For the first time in my life, Mom's weirdness sort of made sense. I wonder if that's why Dad left Mom. Because of her condition.
Dad should have taken care of her and inspired her to sing again.
A few weeks later, Ivy and I visit Mom in her treatment center. She was so happy to see us.
I'm so sorry about everything that's happened. And Sophia, I'm so proud of your talent. Music runs in our blood, honey.
In a couple of months, Mom was out of treatment and back home. It took a while for Mom to let go of her crazy rules. She never became completely normal, but she was so much happier. She told Ivy and me all about her life as a rock star. It turned out she and I were more alike than I ever thought.
Jen Zelda really is your mom. And even though she's a little different, she gave you a killer singing voice. You're really going places, Sophia.
Nolan and I ended up dating all throughout high school. At the end of my senior year, we got a job at a production company. We had the opportunity that year to perform in a world tour. One day, I came into work with a present I'd bought to surprise Nolan.
You bought me a baby, babe? Is this your way of telling me I drool?
No, it's my way of telling you I'm pregnant. I know we only finished high school, but I love you, and I want to start a family with you.
What do you mean you're pregnant? We're going on a world tour. It's even in the contract. Don't get pregnant.
I thought you'd be happy.
Happy that you'd want to throw all our dreams away? Happy that we have to pay thousands of dollars to this company?
Maybe this is a sign we shouldn't go on this tour. Then we can raise our baby without anything holding us back.
I love you, and I don't want anything to hold us back. But I'm not ready to be a dad, Sophia. And I'm not going to raise this kid with you.
Nolan, are you leaving me?
I'm sorry.
My life only consisted of two things the next 9 months: pregnancy and debt from all the money I owed the company. I even had to move back in with Mom temporarily.
Don't worry about anything, sweetie. You can raise the baby right here.
Thanks, Mom. Just as long as you don't make him wear a helmet. Ivy and Mom were right next to me in the hospital when I gave birth to my perfect baby boy, Miles. Suddenly, I heard a voice behind me.
Is it cool if I hold him?
Nolan, what are you doing here?
I came to meet the mother of my son and to tell her that I made the biggest mistake of my life leaving her. I know you're not going to forgive me, but I want you to know that I've paid off all the debt to the music studio. I love you, Sophia. And I love our son, too. I always will.
So come back here and hold him then. Miles wants to meet his dad.
You can tell him I'm not going anywhere.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. Please like and subscribe. I was born in Bordeaux, a beautiful city in France. When I was 8 years old, we moved to the USA because my dad got a great job there. The city we moved to was huge, filled with skyscrapers, shops, and opportunities, for so I was told. However, it didn't take long for things to start going downhill. When I began attending school there, my parents enrolled me in a private school for international students.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte, I'm 8 years old and I come from France. I brought some madeleines that my mom made for everyone today.
Hi, Charlotte! I'm Laura, from Italy. Do you want to hang out later today?
Laura and I became very close. We would often take the same bus home, do our homework together, and even attend drawing classes together. Even though Laura didn't speak any French, being with her reminded me a lot of home. I was shy and liked to keep things to myself, while Laura was fun and a bit wild, someone my mom wouldn't think was classy. Mom really didn't like Laura. She kept trying to make me hang out with kids from rich families that I didn't like, but I ended up making friends with 2 girls just so Mom would stop nagging me. One evening, I forgot to tell Mom I invited Laura over for dinner. Mom was really mean to Laura when she came.
Charlotte mentioned your mom is a saleswoman. Do you guys even eat dinner every night, or is it too expensive at least?
Why would you say something like that?
Hey, it's okay, Uncle. No, we don't always have big dinners, but what we do have is each other. What's the point of a fancy dinner if the family isn't close?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. Did I upset you? I thought your family was okay.
I think you should go!
Mom! Why?
She's not going anywhere.
She leaves now, or you'll be sorry.
Awkward silence fell, which Laura broke.
Don't worry, I'll go. Seems like I just got my answer about the kind of family this is.
Leave now!
And with that, Laura left. I was really upset with Mom, but she didn't seem to care. Laura told me not to let it bother me.
You already have it tough with a mom like that. I won't make it worse by leaving you alone.
I love you for being here.
One gloomy day in the 6th grade. Everything changed when my parents started to struggle financially after my dad lost his job and they had to move me to a public school.
We can't just pull her out of school. She's doing so well. What would I even say to my friends if they asked? I want her to succeed here in the USA, to make something of herself, and make me proud.
Dad slammed his hand angrily on the table and glared at Mom.
At least think clearly for once. You're not seeing the big picture. As usual, you don't seem to get that I've lost my job and we're drowning in bills. The only sensible move is to switch her to public school.
Yes, Mom was a bit of a difficult person. She was obsessed with maintaining a perfect image. Being perceived as poor was a disaster for her. Her mom was also a strict lady, obsessed with etiquette and rules. She was against my mom's marriage, although my dad was well off. But Mom stood firm and married Dad, so her parents cut her off. Now us not having much money would make my grandma right, and that made my mom even madder. She made us move to a different city so she could lie and tell her friends that Dad had received a job opportunity far away. I screamed and cried for days. I didn't want to leave our city or be away from Laura. But as usual, Mom ignored my protests. I was heartbroken.
Dad, I hate her.
Hate is a strong word. You know how your mom is. She wants things her way. Life hasn't ended, though. You'll make new friends. And about Laura, you can still talk to her on the phone, and I'll help you see her once in a while.
Thank you, Dad. You're too kind to be with someone like her, but I guess life isn't fair.
Saying goodbye to Laura was incredibly hard. And to make things worse, after we moved, I realized I forgot the notebook with Laura's number in it. It was utterly heartbroken. Even though we didn't have a lot of money, Mom kept having big parties at fancy places for her friends. We were getting more and more into debt, even though Dad asked her many times to stop the parties. One day, she even gave her friend a really expensive ring for her birthday. Dad got really upset when the bank called him.
Listen, woman, I can't take this anymore. This is your last chance, If you don't stop, we might have to split up.
And I'll want to stay with Dad.
With that, Mom left. She was gone for a couple of days. Although Dad and I were worried, we didn't try to reach her. It was time for her to act like the adult she supposedly was. When she returned, she walked into the house and started doing laundry as if nothing had happened. From that day on, she stopped seeing her friends so much and didn't waste our money anymore. I was relieved she finally came to her senses, but I could see a change in her. Her eyes had lost. Well, things at the public school weren't perfect either. At first it was okay, but things changed quickly. When I started junior year of high school, I noticed my body changing rapidly, even spotting some freckles on my face. It wasn't just my appearance that was changing. My social life was too suddenly always started looking at me differently. Girls were going out with boys and there seemed to be more parties.
Hey Charlotte, how about grabbing some ice cream after school? Just the two of us?
Just us? Alone?
Yeah, just us. Why were you planning on turning it into a group event?
Well, I thought maybe we could invite Jessica too.
Look, I wasn't making a guest list. You know what? Forget it. I got to go. And hey Charlotte, or should I call you the lost little raccoon? Just because you're from France doesn't mean you're anything special here. If anything, it just shows you can't take a joke and always dampen the mood.
Before I could respond, he pressed his gum into my hair as he walked away. It was not just embarrassing, it felt like a sharp hug at my dignity. I came back home that day, wanting to tell Mom about it. She was cooking in the kitchen when I walked in.
Hi, Mom. I had a weird day at school today.
I really don't have time for your stories right now. You know, we've been living in the USA for quite a while, and you still call a lot of things weird.
I felt so angry I started crying. Our relationship wasn't that great to begin with, but now it felt ruined. If a girl doesn't find confidence in her mother, then the relationship feels distant, and each day I was growing further away from my mom. I headed to my room to put away my books when I spotted a sketchbook on my desk. It was from the drawing classes with Laura, and it had her number inside. Turns out it saved it here as well. I was ecstatic. I quickly and quietly went to the living room, wrapped my mom's phone, and dialed Laura's mom's number.
Hello, Elise! What do you want?
Hi, it's actually Charlotte here. Laura's friend from school. Do you remember me? Can I talk to Laura?
Oh, Charlotte. Yes, I remember you. One moment. Laura, your friend Charlotte is on the phone.
Wow, I've been trying to find you, but I couldn't. How are you?
Hey Laura, I'm not on social media much. I really miss talking to you. We should hang out soon. I'd love to, but my family is going to Europe this Friday.
Europe? That's so cool. I wish I could go too. You're so lucky.
Why don't you come with us? My grandparents' house is big and you can stay in the guest room.
I'd love to, but my mom would never say yes.
We don't have to tell her everything. Just say you're going on a school project abroad. She loves to brag about this stuff now.
Laura, that's smart. It's going to be so fun. We can eat lots of good food, see new places, and maybe even paint. I'd love to paint in a quiet spot away from all the noise, especially away from Mom.
In fact, I found out that the city Laura and I were visiting was hosting a big art competition during our stay, and I signed up for it. On Friday, my mother drove me to the airport with a big smile on her face. I got out of the car and walked to the airport gate when I saw Laura. She looked great and ran up to me.
Charlotte for going to Europe! It's going to be so fun!
I'm so excited! I entered a drawing contest over there too. The prize is also about $500,000. Can you come and cheer for me? It feels like a dream.
Sure! But you have to draw me and make my eyebrows look good.
I enjoyed spending time with Laura, but sometimes things felt off. It seemed like she would suddenly stop talking to her mom when I showed up, as if they were hiding something from me. One night after we had dinner, she said something strange.
You know, I was actually happy when your family started having money problems.
What? Why would you say that?
Well, your mom was a witch, and seeing her getting humiliated was so satisfying.
First of all, becoming poor has nothing to do with humiliation. Second, Mom becoming poor also means me becoming poor. I thought your love for me was bigger than your hate for her.
Oh, come on now! She's awful! Okay, let's change the subject. Want to eat some ice cream?
I suddenly don't feel like it. I think I'm calling it a night.
And with that, I stormed off. The competition day was getting close. It was going to last 2 days. The first for live painting in front of an audience, and the second for a closing ceremony where judges would announce the winners.
Do you think the judges will be fair?
I'm sure they will be. Are you excited to cheer me on?
Of course. Will you cheer for me too?
What do you mean?
I'm entering the competition too. You knew that, right?
What? No!
You think I've lost my touch? I've been taking drawing classes for the past year. I see this as a great chance.
But Laura, you never mentioned this.
I didn't think I needed to report my plans to you. Anyway, I think it's better we focus on our own preparations for the next few days, so we probably shouldn't hang out too much.
I was stunned. What happened to my best friend? I almost regretted coming on this trip. The only thing keeping me here was the upcoming competition. I was determined to win and get the prize. The first day of the competition arrived. We were led onto the stage, each competitor equipped with a set of pencils, colors, and a blank canvas. Laura leaned over with a mischievous grin and whispered,
"May, the best girl."
I was too stressed to respond and just focused on getting onto the stage. That's when I saw it. The event was being broadcasted live on TV. My heart sunk. I thought,
oh no, my mom will see this. She'll ground me for life.
Not only did I lie to her, but I'm also here with Laura, someone she can't stand. And now Laura, she turned out to be so different from what I thought. This is a nightmare. I wish I could just vanish. But I took a deep breath, pushed down my fear, and began to paint with all my heart, pouring every emotion onto the canvas. While sitting comfortably at home, my mom saw my face on the TV screen and yelled,
Pierre, our daughter, isn't on a school project. She's on TV with Laura. This is nonsense. She won't get away with this. We're flying to Europe.
My parents caught the next flight and arrived on the second day of the competition. Mom tried calling me the whole time, but I was too caught up with the competition and the drama with Laura to answer. On the final day, as I stood on stage with Laura and the other competitors, they started announcing the winners. Laura got second place and I was on the verge of tears until they announced Charlotte is the winner. Overjoyed, I walked towards the microphone to give a speech, only to see my mom storm into the hall. I was shocked and embarrassed, yelling in front of everyone. She demanded,
"How could you? Lie to me, Charlotte. You know there will be consequences. And with Laura, of all people."
"Oh, me? Of all people? Remember when you burned the book that Charlotte wrote my number in? You called and insulted me and my mom, who even threatened me, a child, to stay away from Charlotte. Do you want me to say what? You did too."
Shut it! Don't you dare speak to my daughter like that. Laura, what exactly did my mom do to you?
Let it go! Didn't you just win? Take your prize and leave with your parents.
Your mom threatened Laura's mom with her connections in immigration, saying she'd get her deported.
What kind of sick person hates a kid like this? What has she ever done to you? You need help. I'm taking the prize money and I'm leaving with Dad. You should consider getting help. I'll even pay for your therapy.
I traveled all this way for you to side with her. What lies has she told you?
Enough. Let's go, Charlotte.
Laura, what my mom did was wrong, but targeting me wasn't fair. Still, I'm here if you want to start over.
Then I went to receive my medal and prize, hugged my dad, and we left.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle, but everyone calls me Gabby. But before I continue my story, click like and subscribe. I've been hearing the story of my birth from Mom ever since I can remember.
Oh, you were so lazy. You came out 3 weeks after my due date, and you were almost 12 pounds. My arms would hurt after holding you for a minute.
You were worth the wait, Gabby. You were just the cutest baby ever, and you still are.
Dad adored me, and so did my older twin siblings. I'm sure Mom loved me too, but she had a funny way of showing it. Once, when I was 3, everyone was eating pizza for dinner, but Mom just kept popping boiled carrots in my mouth. I suddenly leapt onto the table and bit into her pizza slice. She pulled it away, but I clung onto it like a puppy.
What are you doing? Let Gabby have pizza. Come here, sweetie. I'll give you the biggest slice.
Mom looked mad.
She doesn't need more calories. You're turning my daughter into an elephant.
But I didn't care. I was eating pizza. Once on Halloween, I went trick-or-treating with my siblings and came home with my bag full. Everyone said I was so cute, and they gave me extra candy. But Mom snatched it from me.
That's going to make you fat. Just give them to me and leave.
I was really sad that she took it away, but Dad snuck me a few pieces every night. Growing up, Dad and I read lots of books together, and in the 1st grade, I started writing poetry. My teacher entered one of my poems in a school competition, and I won 2nd prize. Dad was so proud, he had it framed for his office. At Thanksgiving dinner, he asked me if I'd recite my poem for everyone, and I was happy to. As everyone clapped for me, grumpy Auntie Polly walked in.
Good God, child. You look like you're about to burst out of your clothes. You've gotten so fat.
That's the first time I saw Dad get really mad.
How dare you say that? She's just a child, and she's perfect.
With that, he picked me up and told my family that we were leaving. In the 5th grade, we were at the beach once, and I was going around happily in my new pink bathing suit. I went over to some girls my age and asked if I could make sandcastles with them, but one of them rudely pushed me away.
We don't play with fat girls. You're ugly.
I burst into tears and ran off, and Dad was furious.
I'm gonna tell those girls exactly what I think. Where are their parents?
Oh, can you stop creating drama everywhere? I told you not to buy her that ridiculous bathing suit, and she does need to lose weight. Of course people will make fun of her.
And that evening, Mom told me I was going on a diet.
Your sibling's 16th birthday is coming up in a few months, and they'll buy you an amazing dress. If you lose some weight, you'll feel so good about yourself.
Later that night, I snuck downstairs to the kitchen and started stuffing my face with crisps and cookies. I had to eat as much as I could before starting Mom's stupid diet. Mom took me to the nutritionist's office the next day, and I instantly disliked Dr. Christine.
Come on, Chubby. Get on the scale. Yes. You're really overweight. You need to lose at least 20 pounds.
Do you think we can manage this by September, Doctor?
It all depends on Gabrielle. But yes, it can be done.
Do you want to lose weight, honey? Do you want to be beautiful for the party?
I remembered the mean girl's words at the beach and said, yeah, I want to be beautiful. So, the nutritionist made a special diet for me, and we had to buy all these expensive products from her. I had to eat some special toasts with special cheese, and it tasted disgusting. As I was making faces at the dinner table, Dad ate some food from my plate and almost threw up.
Why are you making Gabby eat this horrible stuff? Just make her some healthy food. She doesn't need to eat rubbish.
No, Daddy, I want to eat this rubbish. I want to be pretty.
But you already are, sweetheart.
It's okay. It's only for a few months. Please.
Don't look at me. She wants to be skinny.
Dad looked kinda sad, but he didn't say anything. After that, I kept doing the awful diet, and I didn't lose an ounce. Not an inch. The day of the big party was approaching, and Mom waited until the very last minute to see if I'd lost some weight. Before she took me shopping, she asked the saleswoman to show us clothes that would look good on me.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want her to look skinny. I might just have the right dress. Why don't you try this? And this? And this?
I tried on all the clothes, and I hated everything. As I was taking off a white dress in the changing room, I overheard something that broke my heart.
How did the dress fit her?
Oh, not very well. That white dress makes the girl look like a small refrigerator. Short and square. I wish she had inherited my figure.
I burst into silent tears. That's what Mom really thought of me. We bought some stupid black dress, and on the day of the party, I held my breath and tucked my tummy in for all the pictures. I just felt ugly and miserable. Being fat didn't affect my ability to love, though. I was falling in love at school all the time, but I'd grown up too insecure and shy to ever ask anyone out, and, well, no one ever noticed me. In the 9th grade, I fell madly in love with James, this gorgeous boy who was 2 years older than me. He played basketball, and I'd watch him from a distance and write poems about him. One day at lunch, someone tapped me on the shoulder, and I almost fell off my seat when I saw it was James.
Hey, you dropped this paper in the hall. Did you write this poem yourself? It's really good.
I just stared at him like a dumb goldfish, and seconds later, a skinny girl took his arm and led him away. I crumpled up the paper and threw it away angrily. Of course, he had a girlfriend who looked like a freaking model. Just then, this annoying bully Aaron from my class sat next to me with a grin.
Ah, Chubby Gabby! You like James, don't you? I've seen how you stare at him every day.
I do not.
I don't care. Girl, you want to get noticed by someone like him? You should hang out with me. I'm like the most popular guy around. Come to a party at my place tonight. James will be there too, and I'll introduce you guys.
But he has a girlfriend.
Oh, that's not his girlfriend. Trust me, he's single.
That offer was too tempting to resist. So I went to the party that evening, and when I got there, the first thing I saw was James dancing with that girl. Aaron, I think those two are together. This is stupid. I'm just gonna go home.
Oh, poor dummy. You don't know the first thing about guys, do you? Give him something to be jealous about, like this.
And suddenly, Aaron pulled me in and kissed me. I immediately shoved him away.
What's wrong with you, Gabrielle? You just show up uninvited at my party, begging to kiss me. Does being fat make you needy and desperate for love?
I stared at him in horror as I felt everyone's eyes on me. You liar! I'd rather kiss a monkey's bud. I gave him a hard slap and then I ran away from there. But since Aaron was a popular jerk, he made sure I became known as the fat, desperate girl, and my self-esteem hit rock bottom. Suddenly, I just lost my appetite and stopped eating. Dad was worried and kept asking me what was wrong, but Mom was delighted when I got skinny.
Wow, Gabby, you look amazing. Want to go shopping?
No, I'm good, thanks.
But you're in those big clothes.
Fat clothes, you mean?
Why are you talking to me like that? What did I do to you?
Nothing, Mom. You're just perfect. When I went off to college, I finally made some friends there. Suddenly, I fit in the clothes I fit in with others. But then I discovered something. No one here cared about my looks. People were interested in my poetry and the things I had to say, not the way I was on the outside. For the first time, I felt I could breathe. I started relaxing, eating more, and having fun. When I went home for Christmas, I took my coat off and found Mom staring at me like a hawk.
Gabby, did you gain weight?
I don't know, Mom. I didn't check.
But it's such a shame that you're getting fat again, honey. You have to be careful.
So what if I get fat? Will I be ugly, useless, worthless?
What's wrong with you? Are you upset about something?
Mom, I'm mad at you. You made me feel my entire life that being fat is the worst thing in the world. That it's the only thing that defines you. But it's not.
I was only looking out for you. I want you to be healthy.
Are you sure? Because I was unhealthy and miserable when I got skinny, and you weren't bothered about that. The only thing you ever wanted for me was to be pretty, no matter what the cost. You've just never loved me the way I am.
That's not true. I care a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you care, Mom. just not in the way that's any good for me. I'm leaving.
Well, we're coming with you. I'd like to enjoy a family dinner for once.
I turned around to see my dad and siblings looking really angry at Mom. We all left without her, and we had an amazing Christmas dinner at a restaurant. As Dad dropped me off at college, he put his hands on my face and said,
I'm so proud of how smart and strong you are. And I'm glad you're realizing your own worth. You are and always will be perfect to me.
Time passed, and I gained and lost weight all the time. And even though my confidence was better, I still had a hard time believing that someone could love me just the way I was. But one day, someone tapped my shoulder at the supermarket.
Hey, Gabrielle, right?
Oh yeah, hi, I'm sorry. Who are you?
James from school, remember? I think I was your senior. I recognized you because you still have those beautiful eyes.
Oh my God, it was James, the James! We went out for coffee the same day and talked for hours over chocolate cake. I even shared the poems I was writing for my first book. It was perfect. And soon after, we started dating. Slowly, but surely, I was changing and fixing the damage. My mother still gives opinions about my body all the time, but she no longer affects me. I finally understood that her problem was about her own insecurities. Now I love myself just the way I am when I'm skinny and when I'm fat. Also, I have this wonderful man next to me who isn't shallow at all. He knows how to love unconditionally. After so much suffering, I now know I am beautiful no matter what. Hi, my name is Hope. Please like and subscribe. That winter when I was in 5th grade, the world turned all white with snow. Our classroom was cozy, but one day, the principal brought in a new girl named Maya. She seemed shy and wore old clothes. Our teacher, Ms. Albert, asked us to welcome her, but most of us stayed quiet. Maya sat next to me, smiled, but I moved away. My best friends were Kendra and Sophie. We whispered secrets and giggled together. Maya tried to join us once with her toys, but we said no. As days passed, we whispered and laughed about Maya's old clothes and strange toys. We didn't want to play with her. As spring arrived, Maya wore a pretty dress, but it looked like someone else's. We called her Never Knew and laughed again. One day, she jumped rope alone, not looking at us. This time, she didn't ask us if we wanted to play with her. She jumped and jumped and jumped until we went back inside. Then one day, Maya didn't come to school. In class that morning, we talked about kindness. Ms. Albert placed a big bowl on her dad and filled it with water. We all gathered around and watched her drop a small stone into it. Tiny waves spread out from the stone.
This is what kindness is like. Every little act we do sends ripples into the world.
Then, Miss Albert let each of us drop a stone in while sharing our kind deeds. Joseph had helped his grandmother Kendra change her baby brother's diaper, and even Andrew the bully had done something nice by carrying the teacher's books upstairs. I stood there holding Ms. Albert's rock, but I couldn't think of anything to share. I passed the stone on. Maya didn't come to school the next day or the day after that. Every morning, I walked to school slowly, hoping today would be the day. Maya returned and smiled at me. I promised myself this would be the day I smiled back. Each kindness Mrs. Albert had said makes the whole world a little bit better. But Maya never came back to school. Ms. Albert told us she had to move away. I walked home alone, thinking of the smiles I never shared, the kindness I never gave. I threw stones into the pond, watching the ripples. It was like the chances of being kind to Maya were gone forever. That day, as I walked home alone from school, I noticed a boy standing on the corner, looking lost and confused.
Hey, are you okay?
I think I'm lost. I can't find my way home.
I thought about what Miss Albert had taught us about kindness, so I decided to help.
You know what? You can come with me to my house and we'll figure it out from there.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
He followed me, and as we walked, we started chatting.
I'm Hope, by the way.
I'm Jake. Nice to meet you. Hope.
He looked poor, and I thought my wealthy family would be thrilled to help someone in need. Well, not exactly. Jake and I entered the house while my parents were in the middle of. They stopped immediately when they saw us.
Hope, who is this? So remember when I said I wanted to start being kind? Well, I found this boy who seemed lost, and I thought we could help him find his way home.
Are you out of your mind? What if he's a serial killer or someone dangerous?
He's 12, Mom. And since you're overreacting, I'll take him to my room. Come on, Jake. Let's go.
I took his hand and led him upstairs to my bedroom. Mom was such a narcissist. Even though I was young, I could see right through her. Like this one time when I was 6, I was excited for Take You Child to Work Day. I thought Mom would show me off at her big office. But nope, she was too busy, shining like a star with her work friends. I tried to keep up with her, but she didn't even look at me. It was like I was invisible. Then at lunch, while I was alone, munching on a cheese sandwich, I overheard her. Her boss said she was great at her job, and she told him kids would just get in my way. Ouch, that stung. I was sitting right there, and she acted like I didn't exist. It hit me hard to Mom. Her job was everything. And me, I just didn't fit into her perfect picture, and from that day on, I didn't look at her the same way. If she wasn't gonna my mom, I wasn't gonna treat her like one. But in my bedroom, Jake had a point.
Not to be rude, but aren't you being a bit mean to your mom even though you're trying to be kinder?
Well, zip it or I'll beat you in the next game. Now pass me the PlayStation controller. Game on.
Just like that, Jake and I hit it off. He was new in town and didn't have much. That's why he was lost that day. Mom didn't like us hanging out, but I didn't let that bother me. Life was more fun with Jake, and I felt like I was really becoming nicer. A few weeks later, I asked Dad if Jake could join my private school. Dad always called me his little prince and would do anything for me. So he said yes. Well, my best friends Kendra and Sophie hadn't changed one bit. They were still pretty mean. I kept Jake a secret from them for the last few months. Jake and I agreed to act like strangers at school until I figured things out and felt brave enough to be his friend openly. The day Jake started at school, Kendra and Sophie surprised me.
Look at that hottie over there. He looks poor, but God, I'd pay him to be my boyfriend.
Yeah, let's pay him together. We can share him.
So when Maya joined us last year, we didn't want to hang out with her because she didn't have much money. But now you're all excited about a guy just because he's good looking.
Oh my God, why are you so obsessed with this Maya girl? Listen, Sophie, let's hire some private investigator to find this Maya for our friend, and she can just shut up about it.
You're hilarious, but seriously, just leave Jake out of your games.
Wait, how do you know his name?
I overheard a teacher say it, but really, just leave him be.
You know, Hope, since you're so insistent now, I really want to talk to him. Let's go! Sophie!
Great! Just what I needed. They went to him and said,
Hey there, Jake, you're new here, right?
Yeah, we thought you looked into. Interesting. Want to hang out with us?
Jake seemed to be taken aback, but agreed to chat with them. For the next few days, Kendra and Sophie became interested in Jake. They wanted him to be their friend, but they had a different plan in mind. They offered him money to run errands and do things for them. I tried to warn Jake that he was worth more than being used like that, but he didn't listen. He said,
If you want me to stop helping them, you'll have to tell them that we're friends.
I didn't know what to say to that. I wasn't ready to ruin my image by having a poor friend. Especially because Kendra and Sophie wouldn't stop laughing at me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
With those words, Jake distanced himself from me, and grew closer to Kendra and Sophie. They started giving him more money, and he became somewhat distant. I missed my friend. Then one day, I saw Jake holding their coats and acting like a servant. I'd had enough. I approached him and dragged him aside.
Why are you acting like this? Don't you have any dignity? You want money? Fine, I'll give you money. Just stop hanging out with them.
Well, I don't mind helping the prettiest and most popular girls in school. Everyone now respects me and thinks I'm cool. And also, I don't know why, but you act like you're better than them.
Well, I am.
You'd rather see them treating me like this than standing up for your friend, because you're too ashamed to have someone like me as a friend. How does that make you better than them? At least they're nice to their parents. While you're rude to your mom and take advantage of your sweet dad, you never show him any love.
Tears welled up in my eyes, but I couldn't speak, so I just stormed off. To make things worse that night, my mom came to my room and said,
Hey Hope, I wanted to let you know that I've decided to divorce your dad. I've packed my things and I'm leaving in the morning. I came to ask if you wanted to come and live with me, although I already know what you'll say.
Yeah, since you already know, please leave and close the door behind you.
Mom left, and I buried my head in the pillow, letting out a frustrated scream. But I refused to let my tears fall. I took a deep breath and decided I was gonna take matters into my own hands tomorrow. I was gonna teach all these jerks a lesson. The moment I saw Jake the next morning, I said,
I'm gonna ask my dad to stop paying for your school if you don't stop hanging out with Kendra and Sophie. How about that?
Yeah, cool. I'll ask Kendra and Sophie to help. They please go away. I have some things to do.
Yeah, like licking Kendra's shoes, for example.
Suddenly, Jake looked at me with angry eyes and a stern expression. He held my shoulders and pushed me back slightly.
Listen, Hope, you need to understand that you're acting like a bully, even if you don't see it. Threatening your friend to do things that only benefit you is selfish and wrong. I appreciate everything you've done for me, but for now, please don't talk to me. Whenever you see me, just look the other way. I hope you have a good life, Hope.
With that, he walked away. I stood there in shock, then rushed to the bathroom to let out my feelings. When I found Kendra and Sophie laughing and chatting. In a moment of frustration, I said,
Listen, you two. You need to stop treating Jake like he's here to do your commands.
Whoa! Calm down, girl. We don't treat him like that at all. He's just a nice guy who offers to help.
But you pay him!
Yeah, so what if you have a friend who has less money than you and could use some help? Why not?
Oh, come on. We all know you're not exactly the nicest people.
Yeah, we're not denying that. But at least we're not ashamed to be seen with a less fortunate friend in public. Unlike you.
How did you even know that Jake was my friend?
Well, it's pretty obvious that you care about Jake. We even think you have a crush on him.
Yeah, just be nice to the person you like. I know it can be hard for you, but look at us. We can do it.
If being nice to a friend means treating them like a servant, then I'll pass on that kind of advice from people like you.
With that, I left the bathroom. Weeks passed, and I stopped talking to Jake, Kendra, Sophie, and my mom. Although Mom hadn't stopped messaging me and inviting me to her house, I ignored her. One day, I woke up super sick and couldn't go to school. No one asked about me or missed me. I felt very sad and vulnerable. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I had to talk to someone. And I knew exactly who that someone would be. I went to Miss Albert's house. She looked surprised to see me. I told her everything.
I don't get it. I wanted to be kind. I helped a person in need. But they chose to be with someone mean. And when I tried to warn them, they told me to buzz off. And now the mean people are the ones who are giving me advice to be a kind person. How exactly did that happen?
Honey, you helped a person in need, and it's a good thing. But you want to help them on your own terms only. And this isn't how kindness works. Sometimes you have to go out of your way to help others.
True. It basically implied that I was ashamed of Jake, and now he chose to be with some mean girls.
Remember that there's goodness in everyone, even if you think they aren't nice. We're human beings. We have goodness and evilness, and the best of us are the ones who can control their evilness when it's most called for.
I hugged Ms. Albert tightly and left. The next morning, I entered the classroom and excused my teacher to say something.
I just want to say I'm sorry to Jake. He's a good guy, and I'm honored to be his friend.
The whole class fell silent, surprised by my confession. Jake smiled warmly at me, and I could see the relief in his eyes.
Your mom's been texting me and asking me about you. She doesn't know we weren't talking, obviously. Want to go to her place after school? I'd love to go with you.
Hello, I'm Laura from Denmark. Please like and subscribe. I don't remember much of my dad, but Mom always told me he was a horrible person. Apparently, when I was just a year old, he said one day he was going to buy milk, and he never came back. And since then, Mom really had issues trusting people. Like, once when I was 4, Mom and I were in the elevator at a shopping mall, and there was a nice lady who kept smiling at me, and Mom freaked out.
Why are you staring at my daughter?
Because she's so adorable.
Keep your eyes to yourself, lady.
Mommy, she didn't do anything.
You can't trust anyone these days. What if she wants to snatch you away?
Although Mom was kind of boring and strict, she tried her best to give me a good life. She worked as a banker, and we lived in the same apartment building as my favorite Aunt Lily. Since Mom worked long hours, I'd stay with my aunt, who only worked night shifts at a restaurant. Aunt Lily and I looked a lot alike with our blonde hair and blue eyes, and she adored me. I loved her too, because she was so much fun. But her daughter Emma, who was my age, didn't seem to like me much. Maybe it was because I had better grades or was more athletic than her. Or maybe she hated that Aunt gave me so much attention. Once in first grade, our moms took us to a Mother's Day function in the neighborhood. There were so many fun activities, like the mother-daughter sack race, but Mom complained that her leg was sore. So my aunt took turns racing with me and Emma. Emma was so slow, but I ended up winning the race with Aunt. When we received a gold medal for winning, Emma went ballistic and pulled it right off my neck.
This is mine because she's my mom.
No, it's not. I won the race. We both started fighting like crazy over the medal, and our moms had to separate us. It was an ongoing battle between me and my cousin, and she could be really evil when she got jealous. Like once in 4th grade, we were on our way to the hairdresser with Aunt, when some lady stopped her and asked if I was her daughter. Emma looked at me angrily, and then tripped me when I wasn't looking. At the salon, the hairdresser went to get her tools, and Aunt left us for a moment to go to the shop next door. Suddenly, Emma crept up from behind me and chopped off my long ponytail.
Now you look like a silly boy.
Emma, why would you do this?
Because my mom is my mom and you need to stay away from her.
I pounced on her and pinned her down, and then I chopped off her hair too. There, now we're even. When my aunt and the hairdresser returned, they were shocked, and Aunt was scared to face my mom since Mom always called her irresponsible.
Gosh! Lily, I can never trust you to do anything right. All I wanted was for her to have a fringe. This is a disaster.
It's okay, Mom. It'll grow back.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen.
Mom refused to hear my aunt out, and she left looking upset. Why did Mom always have to be so uptight? Aunt Lily understood me better than my mom. We liked the same jokes, movies, and many other things. And sometimes I wish that Emma had my mom and I had hers. Like once in 8th grade, I wanted to go to my classmates' party, but Mom flatly refused.
I don't know this girl or her family. How do I know what kind of people they are, and why is this party so late at night? No, you're not going.
But Aunt Lily spoke up for me.
Come on, she's a good kid. You can't lock her up forever, you know. Let her go have some fun.
Okay, but if anything bad happens, it's your fault.
I was having an amazing time at the party until someone suddenly fell from the balcony. Luckily, the person ended up on the trampoline. But as she stood up, I saw to my horror that it was Mom. To make things worse, she got off the trampoline, lost her balance, and crashed straight into a food table.
OMG, who are you? You lunatic! I'm going to call the cops on you for breaking into my house.
Do I look like some criminal? You foolish girl! I'm Laura's mom! Oh, there you are, sweetie!
Mom, what are you doing here?
I was just checking if you were safe.
I was the laughing stock of my school after that, and Emma enjoyed every moment of it. When we were in 10th grade, I started noticing that Emma never went straight home after school. So one day I decided to follow her. She went to the park and sat on a bench, and sometime later, a man wearing a cap turned up and sat next to her. What on earth was she up to? This guy looked really shady and I had to do something. Emma!
Laura, what are you doing here?
I was just passing by and I saw you. What are you doing?
Oh, please, Laura. You can't tell my mom about this.
And then she revealed something shocking. The man was her father. I'd never met him before, but I knew Aunt hated him. Emma, your mom will be pissed if she finds out.
I know. That's why you can't tell her.
I tried to stay out of it, but I couldn't help noticing that Emma was acting weirder by the day. She was often sneaking out of classes and missing school. And one day, when her bag was slightly open, I saw that she had a lot of food and some money inside. It looked like she was stealing from Aunt for her dad. I couldn't keep the secret anymore, so I ended up telling Mom.
Oh no, that's bad news. He's not a very nice person.
What do you mean?
He has a gambling problem. That's why Lily kicked him out. I must tell her about this.
Not just yet. Maybe I can stop her from seeing her dad. I'll talk to her. My cousin was stubborn, and I knew she wasn't going to listen to me. So the next day after school, I decided to get to the park before Emma, and luckily, her dad was already there. Listen, mister, I want you to leave Emma alone.
And who are you to tell me what to do?
I'm her family, and you have to stay away from her.
Sorry, no can do. She's my daughter, and if you try standing in my way, I'll come after you and your mother. I can make your lives miserable.
He looked really threatening, but I bravely stood my ground and told him I'd report him to the police. He looked at me furiously before he walked off. When I told Mom about what happened, she freaked out and insisted that we tell Aunt. But when we went to see Aunt Lily, we found her crying with a letter in her hand.
Emma is gone.
What do you mean gone? Emma had written in her letter that she was going to live with her dad because she felt that my aunt loved me more. I was speechless because I didn't know that her jealousy towards me affected her so much. We went out searching for her and had no luck for weeks. One day, I went over to cheer up Aunt Lily, but to my shock, she told me not to visit her anymore. But why?
You knew all this time that she was seeing her father, but you didn't tell me, and now I've lost my only child. Please just go away.
It broke my heart that Aunt hated me now, but I had to give her some space. Months later, I came home from school one day and found a hair clip in the elevator that I knew belonged to my aunt. I decided to slip it under her door, but when I reached her floor, I saw Aunt in the corridor being robbed by a masked man. He pulled Aunt's bag and started running away, but I chased him and knocked him down. and when I pulled his mask off, I saw that it was Emma.
Well done! You just saved your favorite aunt. Where would she be without you?
Emma, I've been looking for you everywhere. Look, if you want money, I'll just give it to you. But please just stay.
Why should I? You already have your perfect daughter, and my dad loves me like you love her.
She grabbed a handful of cash from Aunt's bag, threw it at her, and fled. Aunt and I just stood there in shock, and then she turned to me.
This is all your fault.
What aunt can you please? But she walked off and slammed her door shut, and after a few weeks, she moved out for good without even telling us where. I was devastated, but Mom didn't seem to care.
Good riddance. I always felt she was a bad influence on you, and clearly she's a bad mother. She just had one child to raise, and she couldn't even do that.
No, Mom. She raised two, and she's amazing and understanding, and sometimes I wished she was my mom instead of you. I regretted my words instantly, but I couldn't take them back now, even though I apologized to Mom later. Our relationship was more awkward than ever. After completing school, I started college and found a part-time assistance job at a company so I could move out of my house. One morning, as I was getting coffee, I saw Emma dressed in ragged clothes walking across the road, and I went after her. Emma! She looked shocked at first, and then to my surprise, she hugged me.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Laura.
What happened to you?
Soon after I started living with Dad, he stopped caring about me. I even dropped out of school because he wouldn't pay for it.
Because I had to rush off to work. I gave her my address and the keys to my apartment and asked her to wait for me there. But when I got back home, all my things were gone. She had stolen everything from me, even some furniture and all my electronics. Since I hardly had anything at home, I decided to stay at Mom's for a few days.
I'm so glad to see you. You hardly even call.
I know, Mom. I get busy sometimes. I need to sleep over.
Sure, that would be lovely.
She cooked my favorite pasta, and I actually found myself enjoying my time with Mom. Somehow, she just seemed lighter.
With you all grown up, I figured I didn't need to work so hard all the time. I joined a women's group, and we do so many fun things together, so I've learned so much. Talking to my new friends, I realized something. I've never made it clear enough that I think you're an amazing kid, Laura. I'm proud of you.
It felt good to hear Mom say that. I think you're a pretty good mom too, and I'm sorry if I ever made you feel otherwise. I then told her about what happened with Emma, and she immediately called Aunt Lily. When Aunt Lily came over, I took her to the street where I'd met Emma, and when we got there, I saw her again. But this time, she was dressed in nice clothes and was walking into a fancy restaurant. Gosh, she stole all my stuff and bought herself new clothes.
I'm sorry about what she did, but I have to see her.
When we walked up to her table, Emma looked shocked.
Emma, please don't go. Let's talk.
There's nothing to talk about. Can you guys please leave? I have a meeting with someone.
Oh, who do you have a meeting with? Another thief. What did you do with my stuff? Which?
Haha. Why were you so stupid to give me your keys? I sold your stuff and my dad has the money. So too bad.
You had a good family, and you threw it all away to become a criminal.
You people are not my family. My dad is, and I'm not a criminal. Just street smart.
Aunt tried her best to talk some sense into her, but she refused to listen. But just as Aunt and I were leaving, suddenly a rich-looking woman barged into the restaurant with cops and pointed straight at Emma.
There she is. She came to work for me as a secretary for 1 week and stole thousands of dollars. I have proof. Arrest her.
Aunt and I were horrified as the cops took Emma away, and we followed her to the police station. Emma tried to call her dad, but he wouldn't pick the cop. The cops looked for him, and it seems like he'd just vanished. They realized he was the real criminal, and Emma was only his accomplice. But she was still given 6 months in prison. Aunt visited her every day, and one day, she came to see me too.
I'm sorry I blamed you all these years for Emma. It was wrong of me to place such a burden on you.
It's okay, Aunt Lily. It's all in the past. After she got out, Emma went back to living with Aunt. I heard she'd started school again, and I was glad for her. Months later, I was sitting in my half-furnished apartment. The bell rang, and I found Emma outside.
I have a surprise for you.
When she took me outside, there was a truck full of all the stuff she stole from me. Wow, how did you manage to get it all back?
Mom helped me get a part-time job, and I saved up for this. It was the least I could do for you. I'm really sorry that I was always jealous of you. Laura and I took advantage of you when you were just trying to help me. I'll be better, I promise.
I think you already are. Now help me get this stuff into my apartment. Hi, I'm Miriam from London. Please like and subscribe. I lived with my parents and my grandma on my dad's side. Grandma was a millionaire, so we lived in a mansion with a pool and even a tennis court. But Grandma was also the meanest lady on the planet. Except to me. When Mom made dinner, everything tasted wrong.
I've never eaten rice this overcooked. I might as well eat bleach for dinner.
But one time, I made Grandma a mustard sandwich and she was blown away.
Look at you, already cooking at 10 years old. My granddaughter is the smartest girl on the planet.
Grandma also showered me with expensive gifts constantly. One time, I helped Dad clean the floors, and Grandma bought me a TV for my room.
Look at you doing your chores. This is what you get for being an angel, darling.
Grandma scolded Mom and Dad for not spoiling me the way she did.
Miriam had a fever yesterday. You two cheapskates couldn't hire a singer or a boy band to entertain her.
Even though she was a jerk to everyone around her, I loved being Grandma's little gem. Whenever my parents got mad at me, I had my grandma to hide behind.
What is this? D on your biology test? Miriam.
Grandma, Mom's yelling at me.
How dare you put that kind of pressure on Mariama? Sweetie, you don't have to study if you don't want to.
My parents really wanted me to become a doctor. When I grew up, they would get me all sorts of medical toys. But all I was ever interested in was paints, clays, and brushes. I often imagined myself as a famous painter and pretended to take a veil off a painting I made. Everyone would tell me I was the next Picasso, and I'd say, "Oh, you're all too kind." One day in 9th grade, I decided to sign up for a painting class, but my dumb parents said I had to take chemistry.
It's time you start taking school seriously, young lady.
We've had enough of your art nonsense.
That was it. I opened my mouth and started to scream. Mom and Dad covered their ears.
What is the matter with you? Are you a toddler?
I think I lost my hearing.
Grandma, they're being so mean to want to take biology. I want to paint.
You two should be ashamed of yourselves. Miriam is obviously an art prodigy and should be painting as much as she wants.
We'll compromise then. You will take biology class, but we'll hire a tutor to give you private art lessons.
Really? Really? Oh, thank you so much. I knew I was being a little bratty, but if I could take private art lessons, so be it. My art tutor turned out to be a girl from my school. Her name was Layla, and she was in the 11th grade. And I didn't mind having her for my art tutor at all. She was one of the most popular girls in school and looked like a supermodel. I'd always heard about her, but I never got to talk to her before.
I'm gonna help you become one of the greatest painters. Soon you won't even need to go to school anymore.
I sure hope you're right. I didn't know you were an artist, Layla. No one ever said anything.
Nobody really knows me at all, really. I think I'm only popular because of how I look, but I don't have any real friends.
Layla and I spent an hour painting and talking, and Layla was right. She wasn't like most popular girls at all. In fact, she was a little weird. One time, I decided to paint my entire face green, just to see what it would look like. All right then, so I guess we're done for today.
Actually, I wanted to ask you something. My parents are on vacation for like 6 months, so I'm all alone in my house. Can I stay at your place? I'll help out around the house and give you triple the art lessons.
Triple the art lessons? I was gonna make sure Layla could live with us. Oh, for sure. I just gotta talk to my grandma. But my parents happen to be in the same room as Grandma, and they wouldn't have it.
Some stranger living in our home? Are you crazy?
Might as well invite a robber to live with us.
You guys are so unfair. She said she's gonna give me triple the art lessons. Grandma, tell my parents to stop being jerks.
Miriam's right. You two are heartless people, not letting a friend of Miriam's into our home, not letting her follow her dreams. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
I knew then Layla was gonna stay with us for as long as I wanted her to. But as time passed, I didn't just do art with Layla. I also talked to her for hours.
Miriam, how come your grandma's such a bully?
She's a bully to everyone, but not to me.
Don't you worry, one day she'll bully you too.
No, Grandma loves me.
You know, you're kinda naive, Miriam. Sort of like a kid.
I am not.
No, it's a good thing. I wish I was more like that.
Layla said the most confusing things, but I loved every moment I spent with her. Even at school, being with Layla was an adventure. She would do the weirdest things.
Miriam, come with us to the boys' bathroom. We're gonna tape anonymous love letters on the wall.
Are you crazy? Why?
Because it'll drive them crazy.
When no one was looking, Layla leaned over to me and whispered,
Consider this your most important art, how to win over the boy you love.
But I don't like any boys.
Or maybe boys don't like you. You're two. I don't know what the word is.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Boys just maybe aren't into you. Like I said, you're kinda young for your age.
Layla taped her anonymous love letter to the wall and left me inside the boys' bathroom. I was mad after Layla said that. I even refused to talk to her after school.
Come on, Miriam. Don't be so sensitive. I didn't mean anything by it.
You insulted me. Maybe you are just another mean, popular girl.
I'm sorry. You're right. Sometimes I say stupid things. Sometimes I think there's something wrong with me.
What do you mean? Layla didn't answer. Instead, she took me to this gorgeous hiking trail to paint. I forgot all about our conversation. Layla, do you think I can win the Easter drawing contest, become the best artist in the world, and maybe even drop out of school?
It doesn't work like that, silly. I was kidding when I said that maybe you'll never be a great painter.
You don't think I'll ever be a great painter?
I don't know, really. But did you know that you're the best student I've ever had? Maybe you won't become a famous painter, but you can win the Easter drawing contest and become famous for something else.
Why was Layla always speaking in these weird riddles? Layla helped me a lot, and in the end, with my own effort and her dedication, I won the Easter drawing contest. After the contest, I felt closer to Layla than I had ever felt to anyone before, even though she was still a mystery. Then 10 months later, Grandma started picking on Layla one day. It was totally out of the blue at dinner time.
Dear, I assume your parents are successful painters?
No, ma'am. It's just me who likes to paint. My parents are doctors. But like I said, now they're on vacation.
On vacation? For almost a year, and you haven't displayed your paintings in galleries, started a business, and made something of yourself?
Ma'am, I'm only 17.
By the time I was 17, I was already starting my own startup. Your freeloader is what you are.
Grandma!
Excuse me, but I think I'll go to my room now.
I watched Layla get up from the table as her eyes filled with tears. Why was Grandma being so cruel all of a sudden? I was used to her bullying my parents, but Layla, I could barely stand it. I jumped up to follow Layla. Layla, wait! Don't take what Grandma said to heart. I told you she can be mean sometimes.
Your grandma's right. Miriam, I have to tell you something.
What is it?
I lied before. My parents aren't on a trip. The truth is, I am homeless. After my parents died, I tried going to an orphanage. But they didn't take care of me, so I ran away. And I've been living on the streets so far. I've been able to keep it a secret at our school, but I'm worried one day they'll find out.
Oh, Layla, I had no idea. Listen, if I tell Grandma about your situation, she'll understand. She always agrees with whatever I say, no matter what. But when I told Grandma Layla's story, her face turned white with anger. She looked like a statue.
I want her out of my house. Miriam, I can't believe I ever agreed to let a filthy child criminal into my home. She leaves today, and I'm calling the police.
Grandma, you can't do that. It wasn't her fault. I want her to stay here and teach me art. She's the bestest friend I've ever had. And for the first time ever, Grandma turned her anger on me.
You don't know what you're saying, Miriam. You're just a silly child. Layla leaves my house today, like it or not.
Then something inside me burst. Grandma, I've had enough of your cruelty. You bully everyone around you, and I'm sick of it. You have no idea what Layla's gone through, and you have no idea what she means to me. Without waiting a split second, I ran back to my bedroom to find Layla, but she wasn't there. Where had she gone? All of a sudden, I saw Layla outside the window with a backpack. She was walking farther and farther away from our house. I dashed outside. Layla, where are you going? Layla just ignored me and kept walking. I ran up to her and grabbed her arm. Layla, please don't leave. You were right about Grandma. She is a bully, and I finally stood up to her. I don't care about what she wants. I care about you, Miriam.
I think you better forget about me. It's for the best.
What do you mean? I could never forget about you.
You're not my family, Miriam. I don't have any family. Nobody loves me. I'm just your art teacher. That's all I ever was.
Before I could say another word, Layla left. I tried chasing her. I never knew someone could run so fast. But after miles of sprinting, I collapsed on the ground and I burst into tears. I didn't get home until midnight. Grandma and my parents stood in the living room next to our giant, fancy fireplace. Grandma's eyes looked like they were on fire.
You spoiled, awful child. Yelling at me and then vanishing out into the night. I should have you locked up in jail.
Okay. Let's go easy.
She made a mistake. She's still your sweet Miriam, isn't she?
She was my sweet Miriam. That was before she became friends with a dirty homeless and spoke back to me. And if she keeps painting, she'll be a dirty homeless too.
I don't care what you say, Grandma. I am going to keep painting, even if I do end up poor.
Why don't you show me a few of your paintings then?
I will. I'm really good in my room. I grabbed every painting of mine I could find. Here, look at how many paintings I've done. And you know what? I'm proud of them.
Wow, honey, we didn't know you did that many.
They look beautiful.
Oh, darling. Let me see.
Then suddenly, Grandma tossed my paintings into our giant fireplace. No!
Mom, how could you?
I threw myself on the floor and cried harder than ever. My beautiful paintings were gone, and Layla was gone.
That's it. That was the last straw. We're moving out of your mansion. We're tired of your cruelty.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. You can't live without my fancy riches.
But the very next week, my parents and I packed up our stuff and moved into a new place. It was smaller, and it didn't have a tennis court, and I still couldn't stop thinking about Layla and where she could be. Then one day, I found a letter taped to my window. It was signed with Layla's name. Meet me at our hiking trail. I took the very next bus to our trail and tried calling Layla's name, but there was no answer. Then suddenly, who should I see but Grandma? Grandma, what on earth are you doing here?
Darling, I wrote the note taped to your window. I was afraid you wouldn't come to meet me otherwise. And I remembered this was your favorite place to come with Layla.
You mean Layla isn't here? I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to her.
Sweetie, I'll do anything to help you find her. But first, I want to apologize for being so awful to you and burning your paintings. I love you, sweetheart.
Grandma started to cry and came over to hug me.
I've been a bully your whole life to your parents and now to you. After I saw your face when I burned your paintings, I realized I wanted to change. I love you, Miriam.
I love you too, Grandma, but it's gonna take me some time to forgive you.
I understand. I don't expect you to ever forgive me, but know that I'm here, and my house is always open to you. And if you do ever find Layla again, you both can move back in with me. I'll adopt her.
Grandma left at that moment, and I stood in the middle of the hiking trail, and then suddenly, I saw Layla sitting on top of a rock. Layla! But as soon as Layla saw me, she started to run up the hiking trail. I chased her as fast as I could, but she was just running and climbing higher. Please wait up.
Go away, Miriam.
Layla, please don't run away from me. I raced up the hiking trail and tried to catch up with Layla, but she was so far ahead of me, I couldn't even see her. Suddenly, I heard a loud cry from above. I looked up to see Layla stuck between two rocks. She looked like she was ready to fall.
Please, someone help me.
Layla, I'm here! Hang on! I rushed to Layla as fast as I could and tried to pull her up, but she wouldn't budge.
My hand is slipping. Do something.
I grabbed Layla with all my might, and she was finally free. Layla and I fell on top of each other and started laughing, but suddenly, Layla looked at me.
Miriam, you're all scratched up.
It's fine, Layla. I don't care. What matters to me is that you're okay. I couldn't live without you.
Really? I mean that much to you?
Yes! You're the most amazing friend and teacher I've ever had. I used to be so bratty and babyish. I had my grandma to run my whole life, but you've changed me. Even though we're not related by blood, you are my family.
Do you really mean that?
Yes, Layla, I talked to my grandma. She apologized for everything. And she said if I ever found you, she'd adopt you.
Oh, Miriam, that's the best news I've ever heard. We'll paint up here every day. I'll teach you everything.
We will. Even if we're never famous, I'll always keep painting with you. I love you, Layla.
I love you too.
Sally walked through the door in the back alley straight into the crazy restaurant kitchen. She spotted her mom stirring 3 pots while the head chef screamed at everyone.
Faster! Faster!
Sally walked up to her mom and tugged at her apron.
Mom, I need to ask you something. Right now? Yes, right now. What is it then? Spit it out.
Mom, where's my daddy?
Suddenly, the bowl her mother was holding crashed to the floor.
Oh my God, you stupid woman! You're fired! Get out!
A minute later, Sally and her mother found themselves out on the street.
Mom, I'm really sorry.
You wanted to know about your dad, huh?
Yeah, we had to make a family tree in school.
Well, he's not your family. He's a good-for-nothing loser who left us. I'm your mom and your dad. And look, just mentioning him made me lose my job. He's bad luck. Not a word about him ever again.
As they walked back home in silence, Sally wondered who her dad was and why he'd left. What she didn't know was that her mom wasn't telling the truth. Her dad didn't even know she existed. One day in the 10th grade, Sally was waitressing at a restaurant when suddenly a woman started to choke on something. Sally rushed to her and performed the Heimlich maneuver till she coughed out a piece of chicken.
Oh my God, you saved my life!
As all the customers applauded, the woman took Sally's hand and dragged her outside.
I don't know how to thank you, but let me try.
She took off a large diamond ring on her finger and pushed it in Sally's palm. Sally tried to refuse, but she wouldn't hear a word and just left. When Sally and her mom had the ring valued, it turned out to be worth a whopping $1.2 million. This could change their lives. They sold the ring, and with the money, they decided to move to a better house. One night, Sally's mom slipped into the attic and took an old letter out of the box. She went downstairs and threw it in the fireplace. She didn't want Sally to ever read it. The letter said, "I'm so sorry that you had a miscarriage and you had to go through it alone. I know you hate me, but please let me help you. I really do love you, and I always will. Charles." But what she didn't know was that a few days ago, Sally had been looking for something in the attic, and she'd already found the letter, and it kept haunting her. Sally looked for anything she could find on her dad and found out he was a wealthy businessman. She'd never be at peace till she met him just once. So one night she packed her bags, took some of the ring money, and left home. She took a train to the city where her dad lived. Now all she had to do was find a way to get close to him. The next morning at breakfast, Sally spat out her coffee when she saw an ad in the newspaper for a nanny by her dad's family. 24/7 nanny needed for an 8-year-old girl. P.S. only apply if you have a sophisticated British accent.
Wow, that's perfect.
Sally thought to herself.
I can fake that!
When Sally went for the interview, her jaw dropped at the size of the mansion, and there was a long line of nannies at the front door. As she joined the line, a little girl peeked out from behind a tree, looking angrily at the nannies. Just then, she spotted Sally and their eyes met. Sally started walking over to her. That must be her half-sister.
What are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm Cynthia. I'm running away. What does it look like?
Oh, I see. But why?
'Cause my mom's getting me an old cranky nanny again.
Well, what if I was your nanny?
You don't look old or cranky.
I'm not, darling. I'm full of nonsense and fun.
Please be my nanny. You sound freaking funny.
Meanwhile, what was happening in the mansion was crazy. Cynthia's mom couldn't find her anywhere and was certain someone had kidnapped her. She'd gone down to the police station, and when she got back with some officers, she found Cynthia and Sally.
Officers, arrest her! You get away from my daughter.
No, Mommy, she's my new nanny.
What, you don't get to decide that, Cynthia. We have no idea what kind of person this girl is, and she looks too poor.
Mom, you always choose my nannies, and they're awful. It's either her or no one.
Cynthia's mom had no choice, so she hired Sally and asked her to move in. Sally was so excited that she'd finally meet her dad, but the poor thing had no clue that she had so much trouble ahead of her. When Sally left for her room, Bella, Cynthia's sister, showed up.
Oh, you're back! I was hoping this time you were gone for good, brah.
Oh yeah, I'm back, witch. And guess what? I picked my own nanny. Wait till you see her. She's so much prettier than you. I can't wait for your boyfriend to meet her. Maybe he'll finally dump you.
Watch your mouth, you little monster!
And with that, Bella pulled Cynthia's hair and they both started screaming. Sally heard them and came running to save Cynthia.
Hey, leave that kid alone or I'm calling the police.
What? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Well, I don't care who you are, and you don't have any right to hurt a kid like that.
Oh, I have the right to hurt anyone I like. Like now, for example.
And with that, Bella attacked Sally, and they both started wrestling on the floor. Cynthia started screaming and ran off to call her parents. Just then, a man barged in and pulled them apart.
Who are you, and why are you hurting my daughter?
Sally looked stunned when she saw her dad for the first time, and she couldn't say a word.
Daddy, this is my nanny, the nicest person on earth. Bella is just evil.
Sally's dad looked straight into her eyes, and for a moment she almost thought he knew who she was. But then, he just turned to Bella and said,
To your room, now.
As Bella was leaving, she turned to Sally.
I swear I'm gonna make you regret the day you entered this house.
She stormed out of the room, and suddenly, Sally's dad turned to her.
Listen, don't ever touch my kids again. Is that clear? Don't forget your place if you want to stay here.
And with that, he turned around and left. That night, when Sally was in bed, she suddenly heard someone opening her door. She leapt out and grabbed her special broomstick, ready to attack. But suddenly, the door barged open. She let out a scream and hit the boy with the broom, knocking him out. She started slapping his face to wake him up. When he opened his eyes, Sally saw that they were the most gorgeous hazel color. They stared at each other for a few seconds, then quickly jumped to their feet.
That was quite a greeting. You could have just said hello.
You could have just knocked.
I thought this room was empty. Who are you?
What? Who are you?
I asked first, who are you?
Hiya, I'm Sally, Cynthia's nanny. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Bella's boyfriend, Alan. Or at least I was. I think we just broke up for the 20th time.
With that, he climbed out the window.
It was nice to meet you, Sally. Also, the accent is kinda hot.
And then he left. As Alan drove off on his motorbike, he couldn't stop thinking about Sally's eyes. The next day, Sally was determined to tell her dad the truth. She waited for him in the living room, but Cynthia told her that he'd left for a business trip. Sally decided to wait for him, but she had no idea how long she'd have to. One night, Ellen crept up the wall to Sally's window and knocked gently. When she pulled back the curtains and saw him, she looked more annoyed than surprised.
If you've come back to make up with Bella, why aren't you using her window?
I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Come with me. I want to show you something.
But what about Bella?
We broke up, remember? It's for good this time. Now come.
Sally felt hesitant, but she looked into his warm eyes and just couldn't say no. As the two climbed down and sneaked off across the gardens, they had no clue they were being watched by Bella. Bella ran across the house and burst into her mother's room.
Mom, wake up! Do you have any idea what's happening under your roof? You should have never hired that nanny.
When Bella told her mother what she'd seen, she was angry.
Poor girls like her just want to dig their claws into someone rich, and these men are idiots. But Bella, you cannot let Alan get away.
I'm trying, Mom.
Oh, poor baby. I know you are. Don't worry. Mummy will help you get rid of this nanny tonight.
A few hours later, when Sally climbed back through the window, she nearly fell back in shock to find Cynthia, Mom, and Bella sitting on her bed.
Well, hello, Sally. Where were you? Meeting up with your criminal friends?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
That's when Cynthia's mother walked up to her, holding a diamond necklace she'd never seen.
I found this in your drawer. To think I ever let a thief like you into my house?
What?
I've packed your bags already, so just get out before I change my mind and call the police.
Sally was horrified, but she knew she had to leave now. She picked up her bags and ran out of the house in tears. While Bella and her mom were cackling upstairs, Cynthia had woken up to the noises. She peeked out of her room to see Sally running out the front door. Cynthia burst into tears and ran after her.
Sally! Sally, wait! Please don't go!
Sally didn't look back even once and got into the cab. At the gate, Cynthia kept running after till the car was out of sight. But when she turned to go back, she didn't realize she'd taken the wrong route. Back at the mansion, Cynthia's mother had found out she was gone. She screamed and woke up all the servants to go out and search for Cynthia. Cynthia's mother called up Sally immediately.
Of course she's not with me, ma'am. I don't know where she is.
Sally, you have to come back right now and help me find my baby. I know, if anyone can find Cynthia, it's you. Please, I'm begging you.
Sally immediately asked the cab driver to take her back to the mansion. When she was close, she suddenly shouted,
"Wait! Stop right here!"
She jumped out of the cab and picked up a teddy bear from the road. It was Cynthia's. Cynthia had realized by now that she was completely lost. Suddenly, she looked up to see Sally and ran straight into her arms. Cynthia's mother ran out crying when she saw the two walking in through the gate and hugged her tight.
Mom, is Sally going somewhere? If she leaves, I'm going to run away again.
Cynthia's mother grit her teeth. Her plan had failed, but she had no choice. Bella was absolutely furious. As Sally walked back into her room, Bella suddenly grabbed her wrist and whispered,
Listen to me, witch. You're only back here because you seem to be very lucky. But don't you dare go near my boyfriend ever again.
With no clue of what had happened the night before, Alan reluctantly went to the mansion the next morning. Bella's mother had called him in. When he walked into the living room, he found Bella and her mother there.
Before you say anything, Mrs. Charles, please hear me out. I can't do this anymore. I don't love your daughter. And
Suddenly, Bella's mom flung over a small table, angrily smashing a vase to pieces.
You stupid boy. What's the love got to do with anything? This marriage is really important to both our families, and I don't think your parents will be thrilled to know you've been going out with the help.
I don't know what you're...
Stay away from the nanny, Alan. She really needs this job, and I'll make her life miserable if I see you near her. Now you two grow up. No more breakups and nonsense.
When Sally went downstairs, she almost fell back in shock to see Bella sitting in Alan's lap. She felt so foolish for believing his lies.
We broke your heart.
Sally started to walk away, but Alan pushed Bella aside and went after Sally, gently grabbing her wrist.
Alan, what is wrong with you? What do you think I am? Some toy for you to play with? I don't want you coming near me again.
Sally, you need to listen to me.
No, she doesn't, you jerk.
And with that, Bella attacked him. Sally tried to pull her away, and then Bella attacked her.
What is going on here?
Sally turned around in horror to see her dad, and he looked really mad.
Sir, this was my fault, not hers.
Oh, is that? You will be marrying my daughter next week. I'll talk to your father tonight. Sally, leave my house now.
Sally decided she couldn't hold it any longer.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Charles, because there's something I need to.
I don't want to hear another word. Leave. Please leave my house.
No, you need to listen to me. I'm your...
Hey friends, I'm Elena from Moldova. Please like and subscribe. I was born in a small village to a single mother who achieved great success when she relocated to the metropolis. My mum was an entrepreneur, and every business she'd start would become a gold mine. And Mum spoiled me rotten. I just had to look at something and she'd get it for me. For my 7th birthday, I asked her if I could have a bigger swimming pool, and she had a water park installed in her backyard. My friends and I were ecstatic when we saw it. Oh, Mom, my God, Mom, you're the best!
Anything for you, dear. And don't forget the doctor's advice. Speak slowly, and you won't stutter as much.
Yeah, I used to stutter a lot when I was young. I mostly had it under control, but it could get worse when I was nervous or excited. But aside from that, my life was perfect, and everyone wished they were me. That is, until the 10th grade, when Mom's company stock crashed one day and she was left with nothing. We were gonna lose our house! I decided to ask my friends for help, but that's when they all revealed their true nature.
So sorry, Elena, but we're facing financial problems too.
I want to assist, but my dad works incredibly hard, and I doubt he'll give your mom any money. He always claims she got wealthy purely by chance.
Luck? My mom works really.
Your mom works really hard? I don't think so, and Dad's right. Now go away, please. We don't have all day for you to finish your sentence.
Gosh, people could change so fast. We did lose the house, and Mom decided to send me to her hometown to live with a friend for a while. Though I hated the idea of being away from her, I agreed for her sake. By the time I landed at the airport, I was already homesick. But just then I saw a boy my age holding a placard with my name. Hey, you must be here for me. Wow, it's really hot here. Wait, aren't you gonna pick up my bags?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Where are my manners? I'm Gabriel, and guess what? I'm not your servant, so pick them up yourself.
How rude! I carried my bags and followed him outside, only to find a donkey. Where's the C.F.R?
Gosh, you sound like a broken record. That's your ride, princess, so hop on.
That was my first experience on a donkey cart. I didn't mind, but the entire journey I felt like hitting this boy Gabriel for mocking me. Mom's friend was delightful, though. She embraced me the moment she saw me and then led me to a tiny room. This is so cute! My cat has a room just like this.
I had to leave my room for this city brat. Look, if you don't like it, you can always sleep in the basement. It's got lots of space. And pets too. A family of rats.
What a jerk. I wouldn't have lasted a day there without his amazing mom. And I mostly tried to pretend he didn't exist. A week later, I started school. And surprisingly, I made friends instantly. But soon I discovered why. All the girls wanted to know what it was like living under the same roof as Gabriel. Not great, 'cause he's a moron.
A handsome moron!
A few days later, our school was having a football match, and I volunteered as the water girl. Gabriel was team captain, and all the girls were chanting his name. Geez, so lame! Sure, he was handsome, but just a little. I was so busy looking at him that I didn't notice this player trying to catch a ball, and he crashed straight into me. Are you trying to kill me? Watch where you're going!
Great advice. I'll remember it for next time.
He just smiled like an idiot. And before running off, he winked at me. The next day, I saw the same player outside my school, with thousands of roses. As soon as he spotted me, his silly smile was back.
Hey, beautiful. These are for you. By the way, I'm Nova.
Wow, that's a lot of roses. Thanks. Nova was on the football team of another school, but he just turned up outside every day to ask me out. I kept saying no, but he wasn't taking it. And then one day at home, I saw a car pull up outside with Nova in the back seat. But just then I saw Gabriel's mum go to the car. And the driver stepped out, handed her an envelope, and left. What was that all about? Later I asked Gabriel's mum, and she told me her husband used to work for Nova's dad. And even after he was gone, the family kept helping her with money. They were even paying for Gabriel's school. Wow! That made me see Nova in a different light. So the next time he asked me out, I said yes. When Nova picked me up for our first date, he said, I was surprised. This is where you live. How do you know these people? I told him everything about why I had moved here.
I'm sorry, that sounds tough. But just be careful of that Gabriel.
What do you mean?
Gabriel's dad worked for us, and we'd play together as kids. But I always felt like he resented us, especially me. Like he hates me because I was born rich and he wasn't. I'm sure he has nothing nice to say about me, even after everything my family does for him.
I didn't have trouble believing that. Gabriel was always mocking me too, for being some rich brat. My date with Nova was totally unexpected. Instead of taking me to some fancy restaurant, he took me to a soup kitchen for the homeless, and we signed up as volunteers.
I always come here when I want to do something special. Feels good, doesn't it?
This boy was so sweet. When he dropped me back home, I found Gabriel on the porch.
Seriously? You're dating Nova? Did the rest of the male population die?
What's your problem? He's a nice guy.
Oh, yeah? So where'd you go on a date? Was it an orphanage this time? Or a pet shelter to see some poor puppies? That's the kind of stuff he does on first dates to impress girls.
I don't expect you to understand what it means to be genuinely nice.
I didn't expect you to be this dumb. But hey, you surprised me. Actually, you guys deserve each other. Two spoiled brats.
Nova was right about him. He sounded so judgy and bitter. I started going out with Nova and was having a good time, but he was always too generous with fancy dinners and gifts, which made me uncomfortable. Nova, I wish you wouldn't. I can't give you gifts like these.
I'm not expecting anything. But I can spoil my girlfriend, can't I?
He gently kissed me for the first time. And I didn't exactly feel sparks. And I felt he was falling for me much too fast. The next morning, I didn't see Gabriel or his mom anywhere. And then I found them both in her room. She was in bed with a high fever. When we called the doctor, he said she'd caught some virus. He advised us to stay home from school for 2 weeks too. I really wanted to help in some way, so I made soup for her. I was carrying it up to her room when Gabriel stopped me.
What's that?
It's soup. Mom would give this to me when I was sick.
No, thanks. You're not giving that to my mom. How would you know how to cook anything when you never had to lift a finger?
And suddenly I snapped. Gabriel, can you just shut up for once? Yeah, I used to be rich. It's not a crime, and I'm not useless and spoiled. I pushed him aside and went up with the tray. Gosh, I was so sick of him. Later at night, there was a knock on my door, and Gabriel peeked in.
I'm sorry about earlier. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have, but it's okay. I get that you're worried about your mom.
Yeah, but I haven't been very nice to you. I'll be better.
After that day, Gabriel and I kinda became friends. We took turns caring for his mom and doing household chores. And at night, we'd sit outside and talk for hours. He was sweet and simple and was really starting to grow on me. 2 weeks flew by and his mom recovered completely. One day, Gabriel was working in the garden while I was reading and observing how good he looked, when suddenly he spoke.
Hey, Elena, can you check if the water is coming from the hose? I don't know if it's broken or...
Just as I picked it up, water came gushing straight at my face, and Gabriel was laughing like crazy.
Gosh, you are so easy to trick.
I picked up a handful of mud as he ran off. As I was chasing him, he tripped and fell, and then I rubbed the mud all over his face.
What are you doing to her? Jerk!
Nova was about to attack Gabriel when I stopped him. Hey, we were just playing. I started it.
And why were you doing that? Did you forget I was picking you up for dinner?
You're gonna tell her what she can and can't do now.
The boys looked ready to kill each other. So I dragged Nova aside and told him to wait in the car while I cleaned up. I had totally forgotten about dinner at his place. Nova lived in a mansion with his dad, who welcomed me warmly.
You're living with Gabriel and his mom, right? His father was a close friend of mine.
Friend? Come on, Dad, he was our servant. Dad's really soft-hearted and likes helping people. Gabriel would have never gone to school if it weren't for him.
And I'm glad I helped because that boy is hardworking and will make something of himself. Unlike some entitled rich kids I know.
Just then his dad excused himself and Nova flung his plate at the wall.
This is what happens every time I bring that jerk up. Dad has always liked Gabriel more than me.
I'm sure that's not true.
Don't think I'm blind or stupid. You like Gabriel more too, don't you? You've been avoiding me for 2 weeks just to spend more time with him.
Are you crazy? I told you his mom was unwell.
Liar!
I stared at him in shock and he suddenly snapped out of his anger.
Elena, I'm sorry.
I'd like to go home, please. I felt shaken. On my way back, Nova was turning out to be really strange. And at home, Gabriel was sitting in the kitchen with an unpleasant face.
You're back early.
Were you waiting for me?
Yeah, waiting to tell you that you're an idiot for dating Nova. He's fake and horrible. Why can't you see that? Are you blinded by his expensive gifts or too impressed by his mansion?
I was gonna tell him I was breaking up with Nova, but that made me so mad. There you are. Back to being a jerk. Mind your own business, Gabriel. And don't talk to me. Gabriel and I stopped talking after that day, and I broke up with Nova too. He kept begging me to forgive him, but I held my ground. He was just too much. A few days later, Mom called me with the most amazing news. Her company was up and running again, and she wanted me to come home. I decided I'd leave right after the final exams the next week. There was nothing keeping me here. Anyway, after exam week, there was a big football match between our school and Nova's, and I made sure to sit far behind on the bleachers so he wouldn't spot me. The match was an intense one. Gabriel and Nova kept butting heads on the field and almost broke into a fight. But our team won by a large margin, and Nova stormed off the field furiously. Gabriel looked so happy, and I wanted to congratulate him. I thought I'd catch him outside the locker room. But I walked into the building to find 2 guys pinning him against the wall as Nova punched him. Stop it! Nova, don't hurt him! Nova turned to me with crazy eyes.
Oh, how worried you are now. But you didn't care when you hurt me. I know you broke up with me because you have feelings for this worm. After all that money I spent on you. I thought because you were rich once you'd have some class, but you're just cheap.
You're a psycho. And yeah, I like Gabriel a lot. Now I understand why your dad likes him better.
You'll pay for saying that. I'll make sure Dad stops giving them any money. I'll convince him. You'll see.
No, you won't, Nova, because I've seen everything I needed to, and I am so disappointed in you.
We turned around to see Nova's dad, who'd come to see the match, and he looked furious. He grabbed Nova's arm and led him away. Gabriel, are you okay? Yours face.
I'm fine, Elena.
I should have listened to you about Nova.
No, I was unfair and mean to you, and I'm really sorry about what you said back there. Is it true?
Which part?
The part where you said you like me a lot.
Yeah, I like you. Big deal.
Like me because I like you?
I guess it's just you then. He grinned and pulled me in for a kiss, and it was perfect.
Hello, I'm Anne. I'm the oldest of 3 daughters in my family, and it's clear that I'm my mom's favorite. I believe I'm the happiest person, and my mom is the most amazing person on this planet. But before I go on, please like and subscribe. My mom loves me more than my sisters because I'm smart, and, well, my sisters are a bit silly and mischievous. When I was in 3rd grade, my mom started yelling at them during parent-teacher conferences because they were failing all their subjects.
Why are you such dummies? What have I done wrong? That God is punishing me by giving me daughters like you?
But when it was my turn, my teachers couldn't stop praising me because I had won so many prestigious awards.
Yes, I thank God every day for giving me a daughter like Anne.
But when we got home, suddenly Sherry grabbed a chair and threw it at me, causing me to fall and get hurt. Mom punished her and said she wouldn't be allowed to have dinner that night until she wrote, "Please forgive me, dear sister," 1,000 times. But when Bella handed me the paper, it said, "Next time, I'll get you, witch." One day, some guests came over, and Mom asked me to make a wonderful glass of lemonade. When I served them, they all took a sip, then spit it out, coughing like crazy.
Good God, that's disgusting. It tastes like soap.
Wait, what? That Sherry must have done something to it.
See, Mom, I keep telling you, Anne hates you. I don't know why you love her. I can do everything better.
Shut up! Sherry made a mistake. I mean, she's perfect. Even perfect people can make mistakes sometimes. Go be useful for once and go get us some coffee. Anne, darling, you can go back to studying now.
Sherry looked furious. She dragged me to a corner, pushed me down, and then ran off. What a witch. But thank God our youngest sister, Gloria, is nothing like her. She and I are really close. When I'm busy studying, she always takes care of me. I love her so much. When I was in 8th grade, I saved up my allowance for months to buy my mom a nice sweater for Christmas, and she loved it. But when I came downstairs the next morning, I saw Sherry warming her hands by the fireplace, and Mom's sweater was burning in the flames.
Oh my God! Sherry, what did you do?
I was cold and we were out of wood. And I like watching things burn. And I hate you. And I hate Mom. Maybe one day I'll set your hair on fire while you're both sleeping.
I lost it and attacked her. As we were fighting on the floor, Mom and Gloria rushed in. They were shocked and pulled us apart.
Sherry, you're a mother's worst nightmare. You don't have looks or brains or any good qualities. And you're so jealous of your sister because you'll never be what she is. You'll always be a failure. I'm going to send you away to your aunt.
I was really mad at Sherry, but I didn't want that.
No, Mom, please don't. We're a family and we have to stay together. I forgive her, okay?
I don't remember asking you for forgiveness. Oh, witch!
Bella pushed me away and walked off. I cried for hours because the sweater had turned to ashes. After Mom threatened to kick her out, Sherry was careful not to do anything too obvious, but I could feel her hatred growing. I always had the feeling she was plotting against the rest of us. When I was in 12th grade, we had to attend our cousin's wedding, and she handed me the ring to hold. As soon as we entered the hall, many of our relatives surrounded us.
Oh, Anne, darling, I want you to meet my daughter. I'm always saying I want her to be just like you.
We hear all about your wonderful achievements from your mother. Your daughter is a little Einstein, isn't she?
Mom and Gloria looked at me with pride, but Sherry gave me an evil smile. As she walked past me, she deliberately stepped on my foot.
Little Einstein, my butt. They'll see who the real genius is one day.
Oh my gosh, she really is a psycho. As the party was about to start, I realized that Gloria had disappeared without a trace. I was searching for her all over the building when suddenly I heard a faint noise coming from a storage room. I opened the door and found Gloria lying on the floor, crying.
Oh my God, what happened?
Oh, Anne, thank God you're here. I asked someone where the bathroom was and they sent me here. Then I tripped over something and sprained my ankle really badly. I can't walk.
As we were getting ready to leave, we suddenly heard the door slam shut behind us and the sound of the lock clicking. No matter how hard I pulled, the door wouldn't open. We kept banging on the door and shouting, but no one heard us. A few hours later, the door suddenly burst open and we saw a police officer standing there with all my relatives behind him. Then my sister lunged at me and started hitting me.
Anne, you witch! Where are my rings? You ruined my wedding?
Oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh, it turns out my cousin thought I was going to run away with the rings like a thief. The wedding didn't happen because everyone was out searching for me. All our relatives glared at me as if I were a criminal. There was no way I could prove otherwise. But of course, I knew Sherry was behind locking Gloria and me in the storage room. A few weeks later, Mom came to me one morning and told me about a national science competition with a first prize of $50,000. She told me to enter, and I signed up right away. I studied hard for weeks. More than winning the prize, I was focused on making my mom's wish come true. A few weeks later, Mom rushed to me with the news that I had won the competition. While we were hugging, Sherry showed up and said,
Toot, you're jumping for joy, just like Anne gonna give you all the money. Poor dumb mom.
Shut up, Sherry. As if I even want my baby's money. It's all for her career. She's going to become a great scientist, remember? Maybe she'll hire you as a cleaner for her science lab. Now, Anne, it says here in the letter that the prize money will be sent in a couple of months, so you'll have to wait a little.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen Mom this happy, so I guess I got what I wanted. I applied to NASA's Youth Space Program, and I was over the moon when I got selected for the 3-month course. Of course, I expected Mom to be overjoyed, but when I got home, she had some shocking news to share. She had been fired.
I'm so sorry to ruin your amazing news. This should be a really happy day, and I'm so proud of you. But how will I manage without a job? How will I send you to the program?
Mom, it's a fully paid scholarship, so you don't have to worry about me at all. And the prize money will be here soon too, and you can use it all for your expenses.
Oh, darling, I couldn't possibly do that. I'll start looking for a job right away. But thank you for being the most amazing daughter in the world.
The day I left, Sherry didn't even bother to see me off. She was too busy with her pointless activities, hanging out with bad boys.
Mom?
Gloria and Mom gave me tearful goodbyes, and I headed to the airport. I only had a small amount of savings for the next 3 months, so I ate just 1 meal a day and didn't spend on anything else. I couldn't ask Mom for money. I didn't want her to work herself to the bone. I finished the course a few days earlier than expected. I bought gifts for the family and decided to come home without telling them I'd be back sooner.
I'm so glad the prize money came before Anne did. Oh, Mom, you're just wonderful how you've made that genius a fool all these years.
Yes, baby, I am the only one with Einstein's mind. But you're really good, too.
Hey, have you guys forgotten me?
Of course not, darling. You're the worst. Your acting is an Oscar-worthy performance. The way you made her believe you're her sweet little sister, I'm so proud of you.
She has no idea how much I hate her. What a moron.
Yes, she is a moron, and so was her mom, and your father too. He left the child of his affair on my hands and thought I'd raise her like a princess for nothing.
She's about to get back in a few days. Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. She'll go away to some university on a scholarship. Of course, after that, she'll be too busy working like a donkey all her life, and we'll sit back and enjoy. When I got home, I unlocked the door and let myself in.
Mom, Gloria, I'm home, guys.
The two came running down the stairs and flung their arms around me.
Anne, I've missed you so much.
Oh, darling, I can hardly believe my eyes. You have no idea how I've lived without you these past months.
I was so restless to see you too, Mom.
I gave them their gifts, and they both loved them. Sherry, on the other hand, just threw my gift in the trash and stormed off without saying a word. Ugh, how rude.
I'm just gonna go put my things in my room.
What's the rush, Anne? Just relax for a bit.
I'll just be back in a minute.
When I walked into my room, I was shocked to see money everywhere. Mom and Gloria came upstairs and said that the organizers had just sent over my prize money.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna deposit this money in my bank right now.
But is that necessary, dear? Well, just keep it safe at home.
Mom, we really need this money, so I just can't take any risks. Just let me know whenever you want it. For anything.
When I got home, Mom took all of us out for a wonderful dinner. I was truly happy to be back with my family. A week later, one morning, I heard Mom screaming frantically at someone. I ran downstairs and saw the police standing there.
Are you out of your mind? How dare you tell me I'm trespassing? I'm on my own property. This is my house.
Mom, this notice clearly states that you and your daughters, Sherry and Gloria, are living here illegally, and the rightful owner is Miss Anne.
Oh, hello. That's me. And yes, Mom, it's true. But you already knew that, right? See, I talked to Dad's lawyer and saw his will. It turns out that this house is in my name. So I suggest you do what the nice officers are saying and just leave.
And how can you talk to me like that? I was going to tell you about the house one day. Of course. Why have you turned against me, my darling?
Because I found out you've been against me from the very start. When I came back from my internship, I heard you all talking in my room. I was standing outside and I heard everything.
No, you misunderstood us.
And let me explain.
Just stop this acting now. It's all over. I guess Dad knew you wouldn't take care of me too, Mom. So he decided to do it himself by leaving me this house. I really loved you and would have done anything to make you happy. You played me but you made a mistake. I'm good-hearted, but not a fool.
They were all crying and begging for my forgiveness, but I just told the police to kick them out. I was truly hurt by what they had done to me. Right after my cousin's wedding, I knew they had set me up, but I chose to forgive them. However, they still kept trying to harm me, wanting to take all the inheritance my father left behind. The day after it happened, I sold the house and moved to Paris, where they could never find me again. I left everything and everyone from my past behind, and now I'm living my best life.
Hi, I'm Milo from Sweden. Please like and subscribe. When I was 4 years old, all I wanted was a huge family. Dad, why don't I have a mom? All my friends have moms, brothers, sisters.
How dare you say that to me? Am I not enough for you? Just go away.
My dad was always like this, angry and irritated. He never got along with anyone, and he got fired from every single job he took. We were so poor that he pushed me to school in the stolen shopping cart. No way we could afford a car. When I was in the 10th grade, Dad came home with a crazy surprise. A baby sister from one of his girlfriends. I was over the moon. He didn't even bother naming her, so I did it. I'll call you Annie. Isn't it a cute name, Dad? He didn't care. He was too worried about how we were going to have enough money to raise a baby. Since he couldn't hold the job, he had to borrow money from a local billionaire. Only problem, my dad took the money and ran. He just left me and Annie alone. The billionaire was furious when I told him we couldn't pay him back.
I gave him thousands of dollars. I'll have to call the police, and you two will be sent to foster homes.
No way that they'll separate me from my sister. Please don't call the police. I can pay you back. I can work for you.
You're only a stupid boy. What will you do?
I'll clean the pool, do the dishes, mow the lawn. You can slowly take your money out of my paychecks. Please, just give me a chance. It actually worked. The billionaire let me work for him in exchange for a small salary and a place to live in his pool house. This pool house was way bigger than any apartment I'd ever lived in, so I was thrilled. I went to school every morning with Annie strapped to my chest and worked at the mansion all evening. Everything was going well until one night when I was just about to sleep, someone started screaming outside.
Bubba, I'm scared. Bubba, I'm scared.
Stay here, sweetheart. I've got this. I ran out to see a strange, beautiful girl jumping into the pool.
Woohoo, cannonball!
Intruder, someone's breaking in.
Wow, you're cute. Want to jump in?
I take a broom and some special items to trap her.
What are you doing?
I'm keeping you here while I call the cops.
Stop it, I'm Zoe. This is my house.
Liar, I've never seen you here.
That's because I just moved back in with my dad, you idiot. I lived with my mom before, but get me out of here before I get you fired.
She crawled out of the pool angrily and showed me pictures of her phone with the billionaire.
Believe me now, pool boy?
My name's Milo.
I don't need to know your name if you don't work here anymore.
I'm sorry. I just never seen you before. Please don't tell your dad about this. I need this job. She got so close that I thought she was going to kiss me, but she said...
Anything.
Sure, what do you want? Apparently a lot. Zoe was wild. She partied a lot and stayed out late every day. I had to help her sneak back in each time. One time, she had a huge fight with her dad and ran away to spend the night with her mom. I had to lie in her bed and pretend to be her. So embarrassing. I did all of it for my sister, but as she got older, her needs started changing.
Bubba, when can I go to school like you? I want to play with the other kids.
That made my heart sink. I didn't have enough money to pay for school, but I wanted to give my sister the whole world. I decided to ask the billionaire for a loan, and he said he'd think about it. But little did I know that Zoe was going to wreck everything. It was a night like any other. She was sneaking back into the mansion at 3 a.m. and I was pushing her through the window when suddenly she fell. We fell onto a super expensive television. The screen shattered to pieces. Thankfully, Zoe wasn't hurt, but her dad was really mad.
Who did this?
Milo was cleaning and he slipped.
I could barely protest before the billionaire lost it.
Do you have any idea how much this costs? There's no way I'm giving you a loan now.
What? Wait, what loan?
Please, sir, that money is for my sister. She can't go to school without it.
No way! Figure it out yourself!
I was so mad. I just stormed out of there, locked myself in the pool house. Minutes later, it was a knock on the door. It was Zoe. What are you doing here? Won't you be satisfied till you ruined my whole life?
I didn't know about your sister or all these problems.
Why should I tell you you're just some rich girl who decided to make my life miserable? Please just leave me alone. I slammed the door shut and stormed back in. If she wanted to have me fired, so be it. I avoided her completely. I just went to school and did my work like I used to. I applied for a few extra jobs to do over the weekend. I had to send Annie to school. Somehow, it all changed when Zoe showed up at the pool house one night.
Please don't shut the door. I'm sorry I acted like such a jerk. I brought you something.
She handed me a whole stack of money.
It's my pocket money. Dad tries to buy my love with cash. That should be enough for your sister's school.
I was numb with shock. I can't keep this!
You better, pool boy. I saved up all month for you.
No, take it back.
You can't make me.
She just turned and ran.
Use the money. Thank me later.
This girl was crazy. With her help, I was able to afford a decent preschool for Annie. I didn't have to get a second job, so I had free time to study. I even tried out for the school swim team, and I was so shocked to see I was the fastest kid there. I got in right away. Things at home were the easiest they've ever been. Zoe didn't ask me to help her when she was sneaking in anymore. She even babysat Annie while I was busy. One time I came home to see Annie and Zoe wearing matching dresses. Zoe had shopped for her. I don't get it. Why are you being so nice to us?
I'm making up for being a jerk.
You don't need to spend so much money. You're already forgiven.
Hey, I like Annie. She's super cute and funny. I'm not just doing it for you.
Still, I have to give you something in return.
Okay, then go out on a date with me.
What?
You're sweet, caring, and kind of adorable. I like you. What do you think of me?
I was shocked. How could an heiress want to date someone like me? Before I could say a word, I heard a shout behind us.
What did you just say, Zoe?
It was her dad.
Did you just tell the pool boy you like him?
His name is Milo.
Who cares? You're not dating some poor beggar. Wait, is this why you've been asking me for extra pocket money? Have you been spending it on these two?
He turned purple with rage and marched into the pool house. He started throwing all my things around.
Where's all the cash? Where did you hide it? Give it back to me.
Stop it! I grabbed him and tried to pull him back and he shoved me away.
Your sister is wearing a new dress. Did you get Zoe to buy that for you? You pathetic thief!
He stormed towards my sister and I lost it. I tackled him and threw him into the pool. How dare you charge at my sister? I'm gonna kick your butt! Just then, Annie started crying loudly, and in an instant, all my anger suddenly melted away. I grabbed her and marched into my house to pack all my things. I couldn't live with this monster anymore. I'm quitting!
Don't you dare quit! You still owe me money. Then call the police.
I don't care, I'm leaving!
Yeah, clean your own pool.
Took Annie and got the heck out of there. I called up my swimming coach and explained my situation to him. Thankfully, he and his wife let us live with them for a while. I tried to focus on getting a new job, but I couldn't stop thinking about Zoe. I called her many times since that day, but she never picked up. I had no idea how much trouble she was in. Annie missed her all the time, too. I thought I'd never see her again until the date of a very important swimming match. All the schools were competing, and our biggest donors were coming to watch. I was so focused on the match that I didn't see all the missed calls on my phone from Annie's school. I swam my heart out and won first place. After the award ceremony, I checked my phone and nearly had a stroke. Annie was sick. Her school had gone crazy calling me to take her home. I literally flew out of there and dashed off to her school, ready for the worst. But I found her playing games in the grass.
Bubba, look who I called.
Zoe was behind her giving me the cheekiest grin. I couldn't believe it.
Don't worry, Annie's fine. She just ate some bad food.
I threw up on my teacher. Hee hee hee.
I gave Annie a tight hug and she gasped.
Bubba, you won gold.
That doesn't matter. How do you feel now?
I feel perfect because Bubba wins. Yay, I knew you're the best.
I turned around to thank Zoe but saw her leaving. I grabbed her arm and pulled her back. No way you're leaving just like that. We haven't spoken in months. What's going on with you? Zoe revealed how her dad had become super strict since the incident. He never let her go out anymore and she could only sneak away when he was busy at work. And he was setting her up with some rich boy to marry him. That's crazy, we're just kids!
He thinks I need to be kept under control. I wish I could leave, but he has full custody.
Then you should take him to court again. You need to stand up to him if you want to be with your mom. Fight for it! She knew I was right. She convinced her mom to call their lawyer, but she was scared of moving her stuff out of the house. I decided to help her and went to her mansion together. Her father had a total fit when he saw us. He tried to stop Zoe from packing, but I stood in between them like a wall.
Move, or I will punch you.
Why don't you try, old man? I'll knock you out right now.
I'm calling the police. I have full custody and Zoe cannot leave without my permission.
Fine, do it. Mom's already talking to her lawyer and she's going to fight for me and she will win after I tell the court everything you put me through. Just back off.
She pushed him away, and we all stormed out. Her father kept screaming behind us, but we didn't care. When I finally got her to her mom's house, and Zoe was literally jumping with joy, we could finally live our lives the way we wanted, and Zoe's dad tried to wreck that many times. He kept calling us for days till we had to block him. Then he filed a police complaint against me saying I robbed him and kidnapped Zoe. I was in jail for 2 whole days while the police investigated the matter. This was so crazy. They just believed his lies until Zoe showed up. She told the cops the whole truth. She wasn't kidnapped, he didn't steal, and her father was a lying jerk. They had no choice but to let me go. I wanted to make a graceful exit, but Annie turned to the billionaire and said,
"She wants that!"
I was screaming from happiness outside. Thank you so much, you saved my butt.
She was so cool, wasn't she, Bubba?
Coolest. Suddenly Zoe threw her arms around me. Into my shock, she kissed me right on the lips. I was so shocked.
That was so cute. Kiss again.
Shut up, Annie.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I was so worried about you and I'm sorry about this whole mess and...
I leaned in and kissed her. It was a quick peck on the lips, but she turned red.
You kissed me.
I'll do it again. I pulled her to me and gave her another kiss. It was perfect.